All right, let's do this shit. I guess formally this will be a part 2, unless I just put them in the same video. We'll see how lazy I am.
Wahoo!
But we have a new guest, Tomato. If you could introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Tomato Man. I am from VeggieTales, and I love singing silly songs with my best pal Larry, the cucumber.
Copyrighted.
Oh shit!
No, it's okay. We paid the copyrights just to get him on.
Let's go!
Could they technically sue us if they found us mentioning
I won't.
them
Don't
in
worry.
the video?
Mentioning them? No.
Don't worry, I won't.
With that logic, Capcom could sue us for mentioning Ace Attorney.
Have you guys seen the VeggieTales Twitter?
No.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Anyway, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, you can show us later, but in the meantime, since the as of now we've talked about cases 1 through 4, and we've talked a little bit about case 5, but I figure we could just start over with that. But for Tom, you have not talked about anything, so
No.
I think you should start with A, your general thoughts, and B, maybe a brief case by case for you, unless we don't think we have time for that. I think we do.
Of all cases 1 through 4?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull up the cases. I don't remember the order of them.
Yeah.
Case 1 is
I'm purposely omitting
first
5. We're
flashback.
going to talk about that together.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it soon.
Oh yeah. I see.
Case 1 is the first flashback one where Phoenix is the defendant.
Yeah.
And you're Mia, and you get Dahlia. You get her.
Okay. Well, Trials and Tribulations is probably the best Ace Attorney game of all time, in my opinion. It has some of the greatest character building, some of the most wonderful characters of all time, some really great backstory building, and it's just all the cases are so much more intense, and I think more difficult, which I find more fun. Turnabout Memories, I think this was a really, really fun case for me. Just being able to play not only as Mia, but defending Phoenix. That was a really fun touch. Seeing how we shaped Phoenix and seeing him in the past, and plus introducing like the greatest villain of all time, not even in video games, in the universe.
See,
that was really fun.
Ruben, I know this sounds like a bad thing to you, because it just sounds like I got another Trials and Tribulations offer on the call, but this will come in handy for you when we discuss Apollo Justice, I swear.
I'm imagining Ruben with the Arthur
awesome.
Grasping his fist meme.
Yeah.
Grasping, whatever. Bad grammar.
Ruben and I are going to switch positions between discussions, but
Stolen Turnabout. I'll go into that next. Quick. It's awesome. Just amazing defendant. So fucking funny how he's just this weak, cowardly man, but like turns out to be this cool fucking master thief. It's awesome. The villain, really cool twist, where he was like actually like. Do I spoil stuff here?
yes. Go.
Yeah.
No, you have to spoil stuff in order to even talk about his turn, in my opinion.
Just look at me. Just so fucking fun. Funny guy. Love his breakdown. It's awesome. Great seeing Adrian Andrews again. One of my favorite characters of all time. She's super fun in Justice for All. Recipe for Turnabout. Probably the weakest of the bunch in this case. I feel like it's just a filler case, honestly. But it just is really weird how people mistake Don Tigre or Furio Tigre for Phoenix, right? I still don't understand that. It has some funny moments though, and but yeah, I do not like some of the characters. They just annoy me. But Viola Cadavarini, amazing character, love her.
Before we move on, I actually do kind of want to extrapolate a little bit of what you're saying. So it sounds like it sounds like we're all in agreement on Stolen Turnabout at the very least.
Yeah.
What's the consensus?
3, 2, and 3, 3 are some of my favorite cases in the entire series. So
I like 3, 3.
Yes, 3, 3 was great, and Viola's fantastic. and Furio is a great villain.
Yeah, I enjoy 3 a lot as well. I remember in the previous part, I briefly mentioned how you playing as Phoenix can skew the perspective or something, but it's just a baseless theory. So,
What were you saying, Con? I don't. Wait, what were you trying to get at?
like, how we play as Phoenix. So while everyone is confusing Furio Tigre for Phoenix, well, maybe not confusing, but like he succeeds at his disguise. But since we're playing as Phoenix, he can clearly see that he's a fake. So it's all exaggerated and whatever from his perspective. But it's like it's not even like a theory per se. It's kind of like an interpretation, but there's no like.
That's really interesting. Thinking of it like all these like crazy archetypes and like sort of really wacky character designs are just like Phoenix perceiving it differently.
There's no evidence for that in the games. It's just fun to think about.
It is fun to think about.
Something like in. I remember there was like a How I Met Your Mother episode where the older version of one of the characters who tells the story is like, now kids, he probably didn't look. Oh yeah, they probably didn't look as fat as it looked to us, and then the episode plays and they are like so fucking obese. But the theory is recognizing that they, in real life, they probably weren't that bad. They just looked like that to the main characters or something. It just reminded me of that when you mentioned that. I think I mentioned it in the first part too, but again, there's no evidence in the games for something like that. So.
No, it's a very interesting theory. I like that. But yeah, I'm honestly not a big fan of Recipe for Turnabout, unfortunately.
Damn, the first negative pin we have on that case.
Yeah.
What do you think of John Armstrong, Tom?
John Armstrong? He's fine. Kind of bland.
Bland? That's how you describe it?
A little bit.
I would say he's anything but bland.
Well, maybe bland's not the right word. Very, very one-dimensional, I guess.
Okay, that's fair.
That's I can agree with.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant by bland.
He served his purpose, and he was fun and crazy.
One-dimensionality is the fate of a great many supporting Ace Attorney cast members.
Unless you're Penny Nichols, in which case you have 0 dimensions.
Damn, rip Penny Nichols.
I hated the old man. The old man was annoying.
Victor Kudo?
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, he's funny.
Especially when Joseph voices him.
You know what? I wonder if that skews.
He had funny moments. I wonder
if that skews Khan's perspective at all. That during the whole game we voiced the characters. Like people like Wendy Obak, for example, are way more likable when I get to voice her and be the annoying bitch.
That's true.
But
it is more fun. I I acknowledge how annoying she can be, but it's fun to see her again when we get to voice her again. So.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Victor. The best part about Victor Kudo is his theme, by far.
I agree. Yeah, it's a good theme.
No, that's a great thing. Honestly, that's
music.
I went to this a little bit. Trials and Tribulations has fantastic character themes for like individual characters, which was not done up to until this point, and I don't think games afterwards did it as consistently. I think maybe a little bit in Power Justice, a little bit, but after that, I don't think they really did it again with like each character having their own theme. I should say like every character. Like obviously some characters have their own theme. Like say like each detective has their own theme in every game, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like the main characters all have their own themes.
Yeah, but then in Trials and Tribulations, the supporting characters also have their own themes.
I see.
Like Victor Kudo has one. John Armstrong and him and his show have one. The Furio Tigre has one.
Trials and Tribulations, on the topic of its music, it does have one of the best tracks to ever come out of Ace Attorney, which is Godot's theme.
Oh yeah, fucking hell, I love that theme.
The sexiest theme known to man.
Kudo's theme?
Godot.
Godot.
Oh, okay. I was like, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, Godo's theme. Awesome.
Tom, what do you think of Godo?
Oh, yeah, I haven't even talked about him. Favorite attorney.
I guess we can go into detail.
Either him or Manfred von Karma.
Really?
Manfred von Karma.
I love Manfred von Karma. Such a cool guy.
Right.
Such a cool
I love
guy.
him.
The way he frames my house.
He's a really good villain, especially.
He's such a good villain.
Yeah.
Such a cool breakdown. Love seeing just
smacking his head to the wall.
yeah.
The order that I ordered my
did that in the movie too.
my favorite prosecutors.
Played
Did they
out
act?
the editing in the movie.
Oh.
Godot is definitely like in a top 5 at least.
Top 5 what?
Prosecutors.
There's like 7.
Ruben, you were saying this in the last discussion. You like Godo more than Edgeworth, didn't you? Say that?
Yes,
I agree with
do.
that.
Really? Okay, damn.
Nobody will top Franziska for me. Haha, double entendre.
God damn it.
Come on.
Con, don't act like you're any fucking better.
Godot, probably there's only like 2 prosecutors that are better than him, in my opinion. But they are from future games. They're from future games, so.
Well, I think I mean you can say the name, just not why. I'm assuming it's Franziska and Blackwell.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
possibly Van Zeeks as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're right. Van Zeeks, I completely understand. If you're gonna say
Godot would be like 3 or 4.
the fuck is Van Zeeks?
From the greatest.
Oh yeah, I like that guy. Yeah, I like that guy.
Barrack Van Zeeks. Tom, have you played the greatest attorney games?
I watched the first one.
Oh, okay. I highly recommend you play them. They're great.
Yeah, Edgeworth definitely. Edgeworth comes in after all of those for me, and then like Clavier and what's his face?
Naoto Sanmari.
Yeah, Sadmadi. I wouldn't even count Manfred von Karma because he's only in 1 case.
Okay, well, what about Pain? He's like, I guess like all the Pain lines are in a lot.
Pain's not even a real character. Fuck him.
No, we should do a tier list of all the Pains. And Winston, Gaspin, and the guy from the one from Grey's Attorney. It's like
Not really a tier list, more like a ranking.
Akatsuki, ouchie.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, ouchie. I know, Kyle, you already know about one of them so far, but there are slight differences.
I used to be really an Edgeworth hater. I used to think he was like the worst.
Wait,
Slightly improved my opinion from the investigator games.
Investigation game?
Definitely liked him more after those, but
I'm assuming more so after Investigations 2 than 1.
I don't know. I liked both of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Investigations 2. I cannot get down with Investigations 1 at all. I really don't care for it.
Really? Why?
And why? I just think the game's so boring. Like,
All right. Well, I mean, it's not the discussion for that, but I disagree.
I don't give a shit about the first one.
What were we?
We were talking about
Talking about beginnings. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
If you want, you can move on to the first
cool.
We can discuss Godo more if anyone has.
Godot is fantastic. He's great.
Yeah.
Like there's pretty much nothing that I dislike about Godot.
Yeah. I really like him just like hating Phoenix for like a reason that we don't know, but it feels like, I don't know, it just feels like there's so much animosity coming from him, and it's just like, why the fuck does he hate him that much? Like, he's not like that mean of a guy to like other people, it seems like. So why is he mean to Phoenix? Well, we have to find that out. I really liked that.
I love though, and how Godo is like a dick to Phoenix. It's not like an annoying bratty little fuckwad like
No, absolutely not.
He's like chill about it. He's like, it's weirdly like almost like, and I don't want to say mature, but like he's tongue in cheek. Like he takes jabs at him, but he's not like, I don't know. It's to me, it's a clever way of like insulting Phoenix. Like he takes every situation and insults him without like. But he's actually like, I don't know, clever about it. That's why I think I kind of like it, and he's also able to be civil with him still. and like, and even to a certain degree respect them, versus again fucking like Satmati who doesn't know how to do that.
Um, I don't know if I would say respect in most of the cases. Because I mean, the whole thing is just he had no respect for Phoenix. Like he's blinding his eyes from even being able to see respect. So
It's like,
I would not agree with that.
I know I'm probably not describing it right, but it's like he treats him badly, but like in a almost mature way, while still like being civil with him, I guess.
I think it's just I think he's just such a fucking cool character that I don't care what he hurls at Phoenix,
That's
whether it's
probably
insults
true.
or a cup of coffee. He's just it's so fun when he
probably
it's not an annoying way where like I think sorry Ruben, I don't not like when Francisca is just like being a dick because like it's just like why. But
That's the appeal. What do you mean?
I'm sorry, I do not. I mean, it's no offense, but like I'm not a masochist, so I just I don't know. I don't see the appeal. But Godo, great guy, love to be insulted by him.
It was cool.
I think we should
Like
talk more
Godo.
about Godo once we talk about Case 5, because that's when I think you can really get down deep with like why and whatnot.
Definitely, Godo shines the best in Case 5 for obvious reasons.
So
Yeah.
how about Case 4? Let's go over
Case 4, I love it. Love it. Really cool seeing Mia's first case. Love the co-counsel of Diego Armando. He's a really cool guy. I'd love to see him in more games. Let's see. Really, really, really sad ending. Super sad. Made me tear up.
Really? Oh, great.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's see. Villain is amazing. Yeah. And just a really bittersweet ending. Well, no, not even bittersweet. Just like
Just
how the
bitter.
villain gets away. How
Godo's coffee.
the guy. I love Terry Falls. Oh my gosh, such a fucking sweetheart,
Such a
oh my
poor
gosh.
fucking Terry.
dude. I
Yeah,
love that guy.
Poor
I just
Terry.
want to give him a hug. But yeah, I felt bad for him.
I think the only criticism I had for the case was the case itself. You know, the whole circumstances being a little convoluted for me, but that doesn't take away from any of the characters, I think.
When you say
I mean,
circumstances, you mean like the blackmail thing?
Agree with me on that, but I don't know.
Could you explain what you mean by circumstances?
No, I mean like in general, like trying like unraveling the case, everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're getting at like you don't really get like how the plan and how the crime was actually like the order of events and how it was committed, right?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, it felt like it's probably my end, me not fully understanding it, but I don't know. It just felt.
I think a counterpoint. I think that's kind of the whole idea. It was not supposed to be like a really clear-cut case. That's why it was just completely scrapped. That's why.
That is a good point. Actually, that is a very good point.
I mean, like everyone left with like confusion, and like I think we're supposed to leave with confusion as well. But
holy shit! Yeah, you're right. Actually,
yeah.
Sadly, I actually don't agree with that necessarily. At least on the player characters end, where I don't think we're confused. We're just like we're sad that we couldn't go all the way, but we know like what happened. You know.
We know the general idea of what happened, but like usually, like the Phoenix Wright games, like have like a huge thing where like everything's really clear and the defense attorney really explains it all really well. But there's no definitive evidence, I guess, that we get to pin down. The trial gets canceled. I think if we went further with the case, it would have been a lot more clear. We would have gotten more supporting evidence to what happened. And you know, I think it's not like unclear as to like what happened. I think we can all like piece together like everything, but I think it's supposed to be a lot fuzzier than most of the other trials, and like supposed to make us feel like, I guess I kind of understand what happened, but like, fuck, I know who did it. I know definitely who did it, and they should be in jail.
It was Gumshoe.
Yeah.
Gumshoe fucking killed her and got away with it.
Yeah. The dick.
I guess very briefly, Ruben, if you want to, because do you want to kind of tell Tom what you think about cases 1 and 4 in particular, since he knows what you don't like
Agree with
Dahlia.
I disagree with everything that has just been said. Let it be known that I do not share the opinions of my colleague.
I'll get into that.
Cases 1 and 4 they absolutely don't work for me, because in both of these cases we just see how absolutely stupid Dahlia is, and it's so annoying because she's not good at what she's doing. She's terrible at it, but they present her as some incredibly dangerous manipulator who's so good at controlling the situation that she is really not that.
One thing I can cede, I can kind of agree with. I think they do go overboard with the manipulation a little bit, especially during the trials. I feel like the judge being in on it, I don't know. I feel like that always kind of rubbed me kind of odd. Maybe it's just the age gap or something, but I'm just like,
which I feel like is definitely more apparent in the first case than in the fourth case.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Probably, yeah.
Because in the first case, it was both Winston and the judge that were kind of wrapped around her finger. Versus the fourth case, where it wasn't even really the judge. It was mostly just Terry. Well, actually, okay, first case, it was also Phoenix. But in the fourth case, it was really just Terry. The judge wasn't really, enraptured by Dahlia, from what I remember.
Should I rebut the rest of his things, or should we, save that for a little bit? Because I don't know if I want to go off too hard at the start.
No, I think it's fine too, because I remember Khan and I were already kind of debating Ruben about this stuff. I'm not going to add my 2 cents too much, just because I don't want to be self-redundant.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to, though, by all means.
All right, I'm sure I'll talk in more depth later in the discussion about this, but mainly the point is that Dahlia is not a very smart person. She's not presented to be smart. Mia definitely calls her out on being a fucking idiot. The whole point is she's not a smart villain. However, she's masterfully manipulative. She's can control the situation, the flow of things. She's very, very skilled at controlling people, and that's not even the best part. The best part about Dahlia is just how fucking evil and vicious she is. She has just so much hatred inside of her that it makes her dangerous. It's kind of I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example, but it's
chaotic,
Yeah.
Not necessarily like Jack Nicholson's Joker in Batman.
I was gonna say Joker, but then I'm like, well, Joker is pretty smart. But
in The Dark Knight, he's pretty he says he's chaotic, but he actually follows a plan and everything.
Right,
He proves a point. But Jack Nicholson's Joker, on the other hand, that is pure chaos.
Yeah. It's not like he's dangerous because he has a bunch of schemes. It's he just so fucking vicious and evil, and he's just insane. He's chaotic, and I think Dahlia just has this. It just pins it so well of just how vicious a person can be. Just determines how capable they can also be, and that's super apparent, especially as a ghost. She's so vicious, she still haunts everyone from the afterlife. I mean, she's not a smart character. No one. I don't think the point is to think of her as smart. I think the point is that she's not a smart person, but she's just so evil and so manipulative that she's a threat and an extreme danger. And I love her for it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not much to add.
Yeah.
Eloquently put.
Yeah, Dahlia, she is filled to the brim with hate and spite and evil. I can take that. Yeah, that's true. I don't see why this translates to she's such a good manipulator. Why
It has
is
nothing
she
to do with
good
it.
at manipulating people? She's the stupidest person in the room, but she's able to puppet everybody around as if she's this puppet master who knows everything about everybody. And I can't see her as a threat. No matter how much she killed, no matter how many people she's killed, she's threatening. The only reason she killed them is because they were acting incredibly naive. And it feels to me that she is so stupid that they had to bring down everybody else to her level for her to be able to be a threat. And it's like, a person with common sense would not have been fallen victim to her stupid plans.
Okay.
Her plans don't work. They don't work, but somehow people get killed in them.
All right.
What the hell is going on?
Okay. I think we're viewing this. You're viewing this very much from an outsider perspective, where she's like, yeah, I'm not attracted to her. She's just like a 2D object. I think in person, it would be a totally different experience to be manipulated. I don't think she knows everything about everyone. I think naturally she's just very weak, very innocent looking, very childlike. And I think
she knows how to strike emotionally.
She knows what she can invoke into people, and she uses that incredibly well. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Ruben. She does not look like a threat, and I think that's what a lot of people think in the universe. And they're like, "Oh, she's not a threat. I'm not in danger by her." And that's exactly the trap that many of the people fell into and got themselves killed by. So good point there, Ruben.
Ruben's like, shit. No, okay.
Nice job incorporating the argument into yours. Holy shit, we need this guy, and I need you in my Twitter debates.
You see, you guys all thought it was because I was Italian, but it was because I'm friends with Tom that helped me learn how to debate.
we argue all the time, me and Joseph.
No, we do.
We agree on that at least. All right.
And nothing else based off our track record. What was I say? So, unless we want to keep on, I guess, pushing this point, if you guys want, we can move on to case 5, and then we can.
I mean, it sort of segues into 3-5 naturally, anyway. I guess so.
Well, in that case, I guess where do we want to start with 3-5? Because I forget what we already have said about it. Other than maybe Godo's role in it, but I think we can save that for a bit later. I think maybe we should go straight to the either the plan or the setup, and I wonder what you guys prefer talking about first.
Oh, we're gonna go straight to there.
Well, what did you want to go into? I don't mind what we talk about first regarding 3-5.
I kind of thought it would be more like we kind of go through like the entire case, like starting by just when Phoenix finds out that Iris is working at the temple.
But that's what I mean. That's what I mean by the setup. Go from beginning to end with the setup.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the murder setup.
No, I meant just the setup of the case and whatnot.
Okay, yeah. I agree with that.
Okay. So we begin with Phoenix being asked by Maya and Pearl, being like, "Hey, Nick, you should come with us for channeling stuff." And he's like, "I don't want to do that shit." And he sees a girl that looks like Dolly in the newspaper. He's like, "What the fuck?" So he decides.
Yeah, exactly.
And he ends up meeting her, and he's super on edge, doesn't sure what this means, if she's alive or is a lookalike or what. And while they're there, they're kind of just chilling, other than the Blue Dahlia lookalike stuff. Until also Larry's there. Fucking Larry.
Can we talk about Bikini?
Bikini? Yeah, she's
cool. She's cool. I like her. I think I think she's a fun character. And I think she's I think a really good part of this case is that everyone is very suspicious. Even the victim, which I think is.
Oh, Iris. Actually, I guess I just say that. Iris is her name, the lookalike, right? But she's hella suspicious.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's a huge sussy baka.
Sussy baka.
I mean, like there are like so many suspects in the case. Can we?
Even Pearl's is suspicious.
Pearl's a suspect, yeah.
I don't even know. That one's not necessarily. Well, I mean, kind of in the murder. Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
actually be like, oh, she's like, no, she couldn't have done it. But like circumstantially, it's like it's not impossible.
Yeah, especially if she had transformed.
What kind of reactions was I giving out when
you literally thought it was like, oh no, it's Pearl's.
I mean, I did, yeah. No, or more so, like it looked like it. And I really didn't want her to be that, Or I guess.
Thankfully, Shutakumi has a heart.
Hey, did you guys? What did you guys think when you first met Iris? Did you think it was? Did you think it was Dahlia, or did you think it was some completely else?
I didn't think it was. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think I did think it was the twin sister from the get go because I didn't think it was Dahlia. I didn't think it was Dahlia. Honestly.
Yeah, it couldn't have been Dahlia because the beginning of the case they specifically say that she was hung.
I mean, yeah, it's just like I still felt like I don't know, maybe she got out of it somehow.
To me,
yeah, I thought it was Dahlia at first too. I was like, oh shit, here comes the manipulative bitch again.
The reason why for me is because she wasn't acting like Dahlia's fake persona either. She wasn't acting like bad evil Dahlia nor the other persona. And granted, I won't be surprised if Dahlia acted differently around different people anyway. But to me, it's
you're
like,
saying she's genuine.
I think that
somewhat. Not at first. I wouldn't say I have enough to say she's genuine. Once you're first talking to her as the defendant, then she comes across as genuine to me.
Something I thought that she was Dahlia that's pretending to be completely reformed, but is actually still evil. That's kind of my first impression that I had. Okay. And then kind of use some like legal loopholes or something, or some tricky stuff to get out of the hanging and like actually report it though.
Kind of like how
that was kind of my first impression.
Kind of like how she hid her identity in case 4 with
exactly
between when she was 14 and 19.
Right. Yeah.
Well, for me, my first impression, I knew that it couldn't be Dahlia. I was like, yeah, this can't be Dahlia. She's dead already. And then plus they are like, basically immediately like, oh yeah, Iris has been here since she was like a child. Like, yeah, okay, this is somebody else, but it's weird that they look the same. And Iris herself from the get-go, felt way too tame to be Dahlia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a completely different, like, vibe. The way that she talks and stuff is not at all like how Dahlia talked.
Right. Yeah. No, that's definitely true.
I guess I will say I think that's something I don't know, this may be jumping ahead, but with Iris, there is one pose / animation she does that kind of made me believe in her. I think she was genuine, and that's the pose where she blushes. Because
wasn't that only at the end?
No, it's not. She does that a few times throughout the
game.
And that was one pose that Dahlia 100% never did. Which I remember a few times playing, I thought, oh, that's how you know it's Iris. It's not Dahlia because she only does that pose. But at some point, Dahlia does do that pose in the trial as well. So that's it threw my theory out a little bit, but I still kind of hold on to it just because Dahlia never did that pose when she was just Dahlia and not impersonating Iris. But I'm jumping ahead. We can continue from. Okay, I guess is there anything else we want to talk about believing in Iris, or we want to continue on with what happens in the case?
We can move on.
Okay.
About Iris, I just want to say that Iris is great. I like Iris.
Yeah, I agree.
Really good too.
Yeah. So you do like Iris?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Ruben likes Iris way more than he dislikes Dahlia, I guess.
No, that's not true.
Really?
That's not. I don't know if that's true.
There's a lot of hatred for Dahlia. I don't know if he can beat that.
Yeah. I don't like Dahlia at all. I wish that there was less Dahlia. But I like Iris. Iris is good. I wish there was more Iris.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. So I guess Larry's there. He's a student under a picture book author named Elise Dunim, and she seems like a
Wow.
sweet lady. You know, was anyone suspicious of
Yeah.
her when you first met her because she seemed to be like
Well,
too
that was
nice? I guess?
definitely a fake fucking name.
Oh,
Such
at
a
least
stupid ass name.
What do you mean? She didn't have a pseudonym for her last name Dunim. Well, come on.
Well,
Oh, was that what it is?
Oh,
Okay.
Did you just get the pun?
Just got it.
I wouldn't have gotten it either if Joseph hadn't told me. To be
It was
fair,
pretty. It was.
but
was
that's
pretty
you know, not being familiar with the term as much language-wise.
If they spelled it like Donoym or something, then I probably would have
The
gotten
only
it.
difference is adding an X, isn't it?
No, for me, it's the only reason I feel like I think the reason why is because the first name is Elise and not like Susan or some shit. So it'll be like Sue Donim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you were saying you were surprised that they didn't actually name her Sue or something.
Which I mean,
Yeah.
granted, that probably would have been way too obvious if her name was.
That would have
Sue
been really
Donim.
obvious.
Well, obvious. It's Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. To be fair though, this is one of the few characters where like you kind of care about, or they take her mystery a lot more seriously. I should say.
Except for the part where they just have a Magatama prominently featured on her character sprite.
Listen, hey, listen. Okay, she's at a spirit temple. She could be just taking souvenirs.
This is for me. I'll take it.
Can I take the lie detection device? Thank you.
Ooh.
But no, I think at first I was kind of sus for her just because I knew there was more to her. I just didn't know what.
Yeah, I wasn't like sus, but I was like, something's up with her, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, I was suspicious of her because in like 30 minutes later, she's dead.
Yeah.
It was a suicide. That Elise.
She stabbed herself and moved her own body.
No, but oh yeah, I guess okay. So yeah, she dies, but what happens is like Phoenix wakes up and I think he gets. I forget exactly what happened. I think it's a matter of first the bridge is on fire, and then he tries getting. Then he tries.
He wakes up twice.
Yeah, Maya's trapped and whatever.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's not something he realizes until right before he tries crossing the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
So he finds. I think he finds
Something okay, first off, something really important in the case. Phoenix actually wakes up 2 times throughout the night. The first time, he goes to he meets Elise Dunim on the way, or to go to the bathroom, and she says she doesn't know where Pearl is, and then Phoenix Wright meets Iris again in the main hall, and then she gives him her hood, which, you know, this is like kind of an alibi thing right now.
Yeah.
Now, again, something really important happens. Phoenix asks how Iris knows his name. 5 psych locks appear. That's really cool. I think that was like a cool moment for me.
Actually, Ruben, how did you react to that moment? Because you yourself said you knew it wasn't Dahlia. So what did you think when she knew his name?
Confused.
Hmm?
I was confused. That's what I thought.
Okay, you were just confused. Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you said that. Okay, yeah. So you said that happens. He gets the hood. Then he wakes up, I think, to the lightning strike, right? Or am I wrong?
That or a
Something
scream.
like that. Oh, wait, was it a scream?
It was either that or a lightning strike. Yeah.
Wasn't it that Bikini screamed? I was like, "Oh my god!"
No, it was definitely,
Yeah, that's
Bikini
it,
scream,
that's it,
Because
yeah.
what happens is he finds her unconscious and Elise's body. Sister Bikini tells Phoenix to call 911. He didn't have a cell phone, so he has to go to the public phone by the bridge, and that's when he sees for the first time the bridge is on fire.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Maya is still training in the other side.
And yeah, Larry's there. He's like, Larry, call the police. I'm gonna go get Maya. And Larry's like, wait, what do you mean?
And then
you're
he
gonna get Maya?
jump in the
And-
river.
One of the coolest, most badass moments of Phoenix Wright trying to run across the bridge to save Maya.
I love
That's such a cool
also how
moment.
the previous day they make it very clear he's scared of crossing the bridge because of how rickety it looks to him.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Just like completely throwing all that out of the window, completely acting all on emotion.
Oh, for love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this up again as another moment. I think it's very poignant between Phoenix and Maya. and it's something the anime fucks up. But it's a moment in Stolen Turnabout, right,
Oh
where
yeah.
Phoenix
No.
he decides to take Ron's case, right, and Pearls gets really mad at him because she's like, "What do you mean? He stole it from Maya, Mr. Nick." And then she thinks he's like portraying Maya, right? And
Mhm.
Phoenix asks Maya, like, "Are you okay with me doing this?" And she's like, yeah, I believe in you, Nick."
Mhm.
And I don't know. To me, that's always gonna be one of my favorite moments between them because it shows how much she trusts him. And then
Mhm.
I think back to the anime where they just fuck that moment up so much.
How did they fuck it up?
Well, basically, Maya doesn't trust him, and she agrees with
Made
him.
Maya mad. Yeah.
Aww, that's sad.
Maya was just angry.
Yeah, and they make it so Maya and Pearl have to go like find out what happened themselves, or they have to do their own little investigation to see if Ron's sus or not. It was fucking
I'm
dumb.
gonna head to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. While he's in the bathroom, I think we can kind of segue
Maya
a little
and
bit back
Phoenix.
to
Pretty epic.
yes, greatest ship. We can segue a little bit back to Case 4. I think it was pretty cool how during Case 4 he was kind of like in the hospital, reading up on the case files.
Mhm.
I was really confused at like, okay, why is Phoenix reading this? What's happening? Why is he doing this? But I thought it was really cool to find that out. Like, okay, he was in the hospital. That's why he was reading it. Kind of some en media ray.
And Medias Res, yeah.
And it leads into. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go on. You can go on, Ruben.
I was just gonna say it leads to really fun.
Are you?
True. That's a good point. That's a good point.
It leads him to fucking kill himself.
Very
Very
smart.
Ruben, what were you saying? If we can hear you.
I was saying some good moments with Edgeworth and Franziska.
Yes.
With those two defending the beginning of the trial.
Yeah.
Okay, Terry Falls. You remember when he ate the necklace in the Case 4 trial and he obviously got poisoned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes me think back to Case 1 where Phoenix does the same thing and Mia is like super fucking paranoid.
Right.
And at the time, it
Yeah.
may come across as a bit like why she's freaking out so much, but it's because she literally saw her last defendant fucking die because of it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I mean, also, this comes immediately after her establishing that there was probably poison in it. So
Yeah,
it's understandable for her to be freaking out.
And it makes sense. It's within Case, and it's even more poignant when you realize what happened in the case before.
Yeah, I didn't really feel it was that out of the ordinary during the Case 1, but no, the modus operandi or the thing is very interesting to have the connection between the two, especially since Maya saw one of her defendants die from it, and she doesn't want it to happen to anyone else.
Right. I guess something else I want to bring up involving Terry Falls. I have a theory that Terry Falls is most likely on the autism spectrum, based off just kind of how he talks, but and also B how he was able to be manipulated by Dahlia. Just the way he comes across, and also because he was like he was her math tutor despite this, which would make sense for some people that are on the autism spectrum. Well, Tom, what do you think of that?
Definitely not. Well, I wouldn't say definitely not. I don't think that theory has much water.
Okay.
Really? I mean, it's just. I think he's very slow. He's been in jail for a long time. He's probably not very used to the world. He's probably didn't get a good education growing up. I don't think there's a whole lot of.
Well, why would he be a math tutor if he didn't have education?
He was a math tutor?
Yeah, that was how they met. He was her math tutor, and then they started dating.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't think autism can explain everything that he does. Like, he just speaks kind of like in not very good English.
I don't think it explains well, I think it also makes sense, at least to me, why he has like sometimes like the spasm where he bites the chain ball. That is from what I know, is indicative of some people with autism where they kind of just like freak out like that.
There's a lot of twitches like that in Ace Attorney.
Well, okay, given the circumstances when he does it is more what I'm talking about. I know I agree characters do that a lot.
I am in between. I feel like the theory has some merit. I feel there probably isn't enough evidence considering he's in one case and we see him for one day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
and he's
obviously there's obviously some delineation between his behavior and everybody else's behavior. That's pretty obvious because everybody reacts to his behavior as being other than normal behavior, atypical behavior. So there's something that's different about him. I don't know if it's autism spectrum or other behavioral, mental, behavioral, psychological issue or disorder otherwise, but like...
I agree with Ruben on that. I'd say there's probably some developmental disorder definitely with him.
And honestly, if it's brought to my attention that there's something else that...
I honestly don't think it's autism, though.
If there's something else brought to my attention that is a lot more accurate than being on the autism spectrum, like by all means, I will look into that and probably agree with it. But as of now, that's my working theory, though.
Not a bad theory, in my opinion. Like saying autism is an enormous fucking spectrum, so like,
yeah, I don't.
Kind of hard to be like, yeah. That's it. We got it, boys.
Honestly, I guess the closest frame of reference I have is like the Rain Man. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
The what?
I think he's it's a movie, The Rain Man, with Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman. Where Dustin Hoffman.
No, I haven't.
Never read it.
Not seen that.
Okay, where he plays someone with autism, and another example is as weird as it sounds, The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
I haven't seen that.
Okay. Basically, what I'm getting at is both of them kind of... again, this is not indicative of everybody with autism, but both of them, with where they are on the spectrum, and show the similar characteristics where they're not good with social interactions, but they are good at like intellectual stuff, and particularly with math.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that are like... I mean... There's a lot of things that are like that in the realm of psychology.
I think it may be very presumptuous to say that just because he's smart with math and not good with social situations, that means he's autistic. I don't think that's necessarily true in all autism. It's definitely not true in most autism cases, and it's definitely not true for people who just aren't good with social situations and aren't good at math and are good at like math or something.
I guess the reason why
it's possible. I'm not going to say it's not possible. I just don't really see a whole lot.
What I would say is that there's the potential is that like you are conflating like various other developmental disorders with autism in much the same way that historically like a lot of mental illnesses were conflated with schizophrenia when it was not true, because in the same vein, like schizophrenia has a ginormous fucking range of what is a symptom and what's not a symptom. In much the same vein, autism is also, there's a big fucking range where a lot of different things can pop up or not pop up. And be like, yeah, there's a little tiny bit of a symptom or a lot of symptoms.
I think another...
absolutely agree with Ruben on here. I think he's definitely hit the nail on the head with all this.
I think another thing I was talking with Khan about it was like another reason why I kind of thought that as well is because if we look at the age ranges, when he was a tutor, he was 20 years old and Dahlia was 14. And I know in Japan, age consent's a bit different. I don't think technically it was 14 anyway. I think it's 15 in Japan.
13.
It's 13. Oh, oh shit. Okay. So I guess technically they could have dated and it would have been illegal and whatnot. I'm wondering. I mean, obviously in the U.S. that doesn't fly, but that's just a localization thing. I'm wondering though if there's also a thing of why he didn't like he wasn't opposed to it at all. Maybe it was either A, just because Dahlia fucking literally seduced him, charmed him, or B, because he doesn't know if there's anything like weird about that at all.
Probably a bit
definitely
of both.
A. I mean, I don't think that has any indication of autism.
I wouldn't say, again, like directly autism. A developmental disorder of some kind. Okay, any sort of. Yeah.
I mean, like when you say that, it sounds like you're saying like autistic people like have no issue with dating younger people,
I'm not
and
saying
I don't know.
again, it's not like an absolute.
I know that
It's
it's
just
not what he's saying. It's more that he was, because he has a developmental disorder, it is easier to manipulate him in that way for
Oh
Dahlia.
yeah. No, I feel like that would make sense.
Yeah. Which, I mean, obviously that shows how bad Dahlia is as a person.
Yeah.
Manipulating the neurodivergent.
I'm wondering if I'm not conflating, because Asperger's syndrome is a type of autism. I'm wondering if it's Asperger's syndrome I'm referring to in particular, and I'm not sure.
Isn't S?
I don't know the specifics and the details.
No, right. I'm not gonna look.
Yeah.
I really don't have enough enough knowledge to talk about this further without making myself probably sound dumber than I already have. So we can end that part.
I also think that it would probably be
What you
beneficial.
were saying, like we talked about this too. I can see where you're coming from, but yeah, neither of us have enough information to say anything. It doesn't make you sound dumb, just ignorant on the subject specifically, I guess.
I would also say that you probably would want to look at like more direct translations of the original game, because when localizing, there's the whole shit ton of shit that goes down.
Yeah, no.
When they're localizing, like.
What do you find canonical? Do you find the English translation to be a canonical retelling of the events, or do you take it that the Japanese translation is like the direct, or the Japanese exact wording is like the?
I would say that the translations are canonical, excepting where they are at odds with the original, which then it would be the original that takes precedent.
I mean, I think in our case, it's like, it's not, anime is really the only time where I feel like, well, not the only time, but one of the major time, most often when, translations kind of butcher the point. With Ace Attorney's case, I think all the games have incredible localizations, personally.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I just have enough respect for the translator crew that I think that that regardless if they're veering a little bit off the source material, I believe that they're offering me a good experience, and I'm going to take what they say at face value without having to debate it against the actual Japanese.
I would say that the culture of Japan and the culture of the United States is very different, especially 20 years ago when the games were released.
Mm-hmm.
So, when the games began being released over here. But, the difference in culture means that, like, basically every Japanese product that has been localized for America has had significant changes to it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I'm not going to say that the English version of Ace Attorney is, like, exactly as it was meant to be, because I'm certain that there are parts of it that are like, yeah, we changed it because we had to.
I guarantee you Apollo Justice, at least, is an example of it taking on, if not taking on a different form, having a lot more meaning in Japan versus America, because, well, actually, Khan hasn't gone there yet, so actually I'm not going to get into that, but there is stuff that their game, because the game, I would just say this, Ace Attorney has always been a political commentary for the Japanese people because of how, wonk their court system is and how high the prosecution rate is. It was in the judgment where they literally said it's a 99% conviction rate, right, for defendants?
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, right, and Apollo Justice goes into that more than any other Ace Attorney game, from my understanding.
Yeah, no,
to go into like localization changes, like a very simple and like very prevalent one was that Maya, they changed in the original she ate ramen all the time, and they changed it to that she eats burgers all the time. This is a completely innocuous change that they didn't have to do for any reason. They just decided to do it. And if they change something as small as that, then they definitely changed and things that like the higher ups were like, nah, this is not gonna fly. Change it,
All right.
make it different.
I one of the best pieces of artwork, in my opinion, that it kind of, in my opinion, ships Phoenix and Maya is the one of her eating ramen, and Phoenix is just kind of like staring at her with his hand on his cheek.
It's a good ship. Good ship.
Ship is sailing.
If you guys want, we can continue with not Icon, but we can continue with where we were at, Case 5, and
Yeah.
Phoenix falling off the bridge, and what comes after? Miles.
Great part. Amazing
Edward's
part.
time.
It's a really fun part. I love it.
I like this part too. Because this is the best. Yes, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Miles gets to investigate with Gumshoe. Which is their dynamic is completely different between Gumshoe and Phoenix, and as weird as it sounds, I do actually prefer Phoenix and Gumshoe's dynamic over Miles and Gumshoe's.
Maybe. I really like just how I loved being like actually on the side of Gumshoe, and not having to feel like we're going behind anyone's back. Like
No, right.
it felt fun. It felt fun, like having him directly under our command and being able to like order him around.
Yeah, it was fun.
I feel like that's happened often enough in the original trilogy to where I didn't get that much of an inertia from it. Like for example, in like 1-5, Gumshoe literally gets fucking fired, and he's literally working under you. In 2-4, the same thing happens on the second day.
Mhm.
And then 3-5, I never felt like I had to like tiptoe around shit because literally everybody was working together to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, yeah.
With the exception of Godo, but Godo never intervened.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, one thing I think is really cool is the Edgeworth that he got like a Phoenix's attorney badge and Magatama. I think that was fun.
No, Edgeworth's reaction to the Magatama and like every time he uses it is gold.
Yeah, it's really fun.
We have to use it on Larry.
Oh my god, Larry! These psycho locks, they keep on popping up.
Larry just continues to create more locks.
No! Fucking
That's it. I'm putting him on the fucking stand.
Fuck this! I'll do this in court.
So anyway, Edgeworth finds out that Iris met White, right? Saying that she met him 5 years ago and decided never to see him again. And I was like, what the fuck?
Does Edgeworth find out that explicitly that it was 5 years ago that she and Phoenix met before?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not questioning it. I just legit didn't remember if it was that specific.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're heavily implying that it is still Dahlia.
No, right. Because I know for a fact, like, Edgeworth, like, literally was like, alright, I'll help you, but you are fucking telling Phoenix everything.
Yeah, no, I remember that too.
Which is cool of Edgeworth.
I still wouldn't, even at that point, I still wasn't like, oh, it's Dahlia, because Dahlia would never fucking admitted this. So this can't be Dahlia.
Yeah, Dahlia would have been like...
He would have lied her fucking ass off.
Dahlia would have been like, Phonics? Who's that?
Phonics.
Ooh.
Yeah, so like Edgeworth investigates, finds some shit. Then
was fun. We got to use like missile and like the metal detector, right?
Missile, I don't remember using.
Was it just the metal detector?
I think so.
Okay.
But the metal detector you use with Phoenix though, not with Edgeworth.
Yeah.
Oh.
After the Edgeworth trial day. There was one other thing. There was one other thing that I wanted to say about Iris was that another thing that's just makes it so obvious to me that she was different from Dahlia was that she never tries to like be charming to anybody. She never tries to suck up to anybody or like saying. She never says anything of like, "Oh, please help! I'm such a small little thing. Haha, look at me, so sad." I think she's very like. She's super down to earth and like just laying out on the table like, all right, what is going on?
Yeah, there's a very good argument that she's like the most down to earth character in the entire series.
Yeah, probably she probably is the most low key, other than technically even more low key than Penny Nichols.
Yeah.
And up to this point, she probably was the most low key.
It seems very sad most of the time, which Dahlia never seems to exhibit sadness.
At least not genuine sadness.
True.
Honestly, most of the times where she like even remotely acted sad was like, "How can you say that to me?"
Yeah.
Iris would like tear up a whole bunch. Iris teared up all the time.
No, so Iris is definitely like a sensitive person in that sense.
Can relate.
I think that Iris is sad.
But there was something else I wanted to. Oh yeah, Ruben, hear me. Okay, this is obviously this is not how it goes down. But what if this was a prospect? You talked about how Iris never comes across as deceitful or like trying too hard to like garner people's approval and whatnot, right? Or sucking up to people.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was revealed that Iris was the villain, but she was just, and then she was also a manipulator, just better than Dahlia?
I mean, that would be pretty wild.
Pretty wacky.
Because I'm wondering if that would like salvage the first portion of the game where you think Dahlia is just kind of too easily caught and not really good at this, and then Iris comes in being like Dahlia but better and actually good at what she's doing.
I think it would have made a way better villain. I would have been sad, but I mean, it would definitely me being sad would be a result of pretty fucking strong narrative. That would be really strong narrative to be like, haha, it was a trick. You got fooled. You got played.
Not gonna spoil anything. Oh, sorry.
And I did because I got played. Damn.
Not gonna spoil anything, but I think Investigations 2 does that really well.
Tom, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, they do it very well. But yeah, I know. Give literally no more context to that.
Yeah.
Play it for yourself.
I wish Nintendo would. I mean, I wish Capcom would localize it. They need to come out with an Investigations collection like on consoles. It's like PC and whatnot, where it's like the first 2 games and the second game will be like actually localized. But that would also leave us in the weird situation where I guess kind of with the Greatest Attorney as well, where Investigations 2 has already been fan translated, so I wonder what would be the differences between a fan translation and official localization, if they were to eventually do it.
More censorship. That's what it would be. It would be more censorship.
Probably.
I guess. I just don't know what would they censor from Investigations 2.
Probably some stupid ass shit that didn't need to be censored.
Can we quickly bring up just kind of Larry Butts here? I did not like him in this game at all.
You're not supposed to like Larry.
Yeah, I mean,
You're supposed to laugh at him.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with like Larry in general. And Trials and Tribulations in particular, it's like I think in the first game I was like okay with Larry, but in Trials and Tribulations, man, fuck you.
Yeah, I agree.
Larry's funny because he's pathetic and he sucks. Yeah. That's it. You're not supposed to like him. You're just supposed to laugh at him. You point and laugh.
Yeah, but I'm not laughing at him. I'm giving him the finger.
Yeah,
I think the thing with I think the thing with
you're emoting at him. That's fine.
The only time I'm laughing at Larry is when Edgeworth has to fucking use Cyclops and shit.
Yeah.
Which that is like actually good, but like in terms of like his like role in the crime and like or in the events that played out, it's like what the fuck, dude.
I think this case in particular just made me really dislike Larry because I think it would have been really fun for him to be like actually competent when his friend is like in danger, when Maya's in danger, when Phoenix is in danger, when Edgeworth is trying so hard to save everyone, but he still fucking like lies right to Edgeworth.
No,
I mean, it feels like.
It's Larry though. He's never competent ever.
No, here's the. At least in the first game though, in Case 4, yeah, he wasn't competent, but at least he was trying to fucking help. Like Phoenix had nothing else left, and Phoenix was like, "Wait, I was there. I heard something." His testimony is ass, but he does end up saving the case in that moment.
Yeah.
This fucking game.
I mean, to be fair, he does save the case here again.
Yeah, but it's pure.
It could have been so much easier for him just
by
to.
No effort of his own though. It's purely by circumstance that he saw what he saw.
Yeah, and he made things harder than easier.
So remind me
Yeah.
I mean, Joseph, it is always by circumstance that a witness exists.
No, bro. Here's the thing, though. Larry went out of his way to say, "Hey, I was there. I can help you out, Nick." You know what I mean? Even though Larry didn't think he witnessed anything, but he was technically there that night. With here, it's clearly he saw a fucking flaming body by the bridge and didn't say anything.
No, he didn't see that. He saw a lady flying through the air he saw a glowing angel fly through the air. That's what he said.
Of whom he thought was the defendant, which is very important.
Yeah.
I really wish he had just been. I think this could have been a really good chance for him to like shine as like he's a fucking asshole, but like when it push comes to shove, he's there for his friends. And this case just showed that he is not that.
He's not that. Like literally, Larry could be the victim of a future case, and I'd be like, oh no. Anyway.
Question: what does he specifically lie about in 3-5 again?
He refuses to tell Phoenix about what he saw.
Because,
he hides it. He hides it.
He says that it's because he knows that nobody will believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's all head over heels over Iris, I think, right?
Yeah, the whole case.
He falls head over heels over every female that he sees.
Yeah.
Literally, even Pearls, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, even
exactly. Even Pearl in what was it? The second case. He was in the second case, right? He was security.
He said, like, Nick, why'd you tell me you were hanging around security?
You can present like Pearl's profile to him. He's like, Nick, I'm dating somebody. Come on, I'm not gonna chase after another woman. And then Phoenix is like, I would hope that you wouldn't chase after her because she's 8 years old.
Yeah, literally, like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
No, Larry
is ridiculous. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but he's he's a character that definitely. It's one of the few blunders of Trials and Tribulations is Larry's character deterioration.
Yeah. I think Joseph also you made a really good point.
I wouldn't say that it was deterioration. That's just how Phoenix is. That's how Larry's been the entire time he's ever been in the series.
I don't agree. I think Joseph made a good point, especially in the first game. He helped out Miles a lot, and like he was shown to be like actually like a really sensitive guy. Like especially like when he found out like that is.
That's true.
Yeah, I think he definitely deteriorated.
And he's definitely sensitive here. Just like.
No, he's.
No, he's like balloon sensitive. Where before he was like a normal human being that was sensitive. Now he's just like super selfishly sensitive.
Yeah, exactly. Very selfish here. I don't know.
To me, he just seemed like the same Larry.
No, it's. Here's the thing. He seems like the same Larry because this is what you know Larry as now. Because this is how he's interpreted throughout the rest of the series.
Yeah.
What do you mean throughout the rest of the series? He hasn't appeared.
Investigation.
This is not the end of Larry. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Well, moving on from Larry, start with the first day of the trial.
Oh, gladly stop talking about fucking Larry.
Yeah. Was the first trial day Miles already?
Miles Day, yes.
Yeah, I really loved how we finally got like a duel sort of between Miles and Francisca.
Yeah, that was fun.
Woo, Francisca! Woo.
Yay! Abuse.
I love Francisca.
Kind of feels like it feels like she's being a little more nice here, though. I think Francisca
character development. She developed from the last game.
Either that, or she's more sub for Miles than Phoenix.
I think one of the best parts in this case is just how, and this is something that was shown in 2.5 as well, or 2.4 as well, just how caring she is for Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that was fun.
Yeah, keyword being like 2.4 and outwards, because obviously in 2.2 she wasn't really caring for Maya at all.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. Francisca isn't like a bad guy. He feels for people. Like he knows that Maya's a victim, and she feels for her.
Like you can argue that
a normal fucking person.
You can argue that Francisca has more care for other people around her than Miles in some instances, and I'm mostly referring to 2.4 when I say that.
I think that Edgeworth is still cares for people. He's playing it coy and tongue in cheek because he knows that if he changes his entire if he changes how he's acting, then things will go south fast.
Can you imagine if Edgeworth just started acting like Gumshoe one day?
In 2.4 specifically, where he's like being kind of not epic. You know.
The Adrian Andrews. I'm mostly just talking about Adrian Andrews, honestly. Everyone else, he's fine with.
I think something that was brought up briefly. I don't want to talk about Francisca too much, but I do disagree that Francisca's mean to Maya and Tutu. I think she was actually not mean to her. She brought up several times to Phoenix, you should go with justified self-defense. She truly believed Maya was the killer, but she didn't want her to be ruined as a person for her entire life. She wanted justified self-defense, and she's not going to back down on her.
To me, though, that comes across more as her just wanting to. You can lose now if you want. I'm totally cool with that. And
she's never done this before. It's shown to be never done again, where she asks to maybe have a more lenient sentence for her.
Well, that's because the circumstances never allowed it. Think about the only other time she prosecutes is Turnabout Big Top, where is anyone really going to be to go up to Maximilian Galactus? It's no, he's not that bad of a guy. And then for this case where it's Iris, and there's not really much you can argue there if given the circumstances they know. She stabbed her with what looks like a fucking satanic what's called the shishito, but some fucking satanic sword. You don't do that out of self-defense.
when it comes to Francisca, very early on, she in the second game, she's I'm not my father, and that's pretty
pretty apparent.
Significant, yeah, pretty significant, pretty apparent that he doesn't prosecute to be the best. He wants to be the best, but he doesn't do it to just I'm the best now. It's to pursue the truth and to pursue justice.
She actually genuinely wants to be the best.
Yeah,
that's funny you say that, because Investigations, again, a character named the best wants to be the best, and the very, 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 very funny kind of parallel between that. But I love Investigations. It's such a good game series.
I love Investigations too. I'll say that. And the best is only in 2, so we can still agree on this.
But that is all to say that Francisca is a good person. So yeah, he's not trying to be mean to people. He's mean because he thinks that they deserve it.
Actually, I want to ask then. Technically speaking, if we compare Francisca in the beginning of Justice for All versus Miles at the beginning of the first game, Francisca's probably a more I mean a compassionate on one hand, but I'm more talking about
he's more good aligned than Edgeworth is at the beginning of her arc.
Morally aware, than Edgeworth at first.
I think once she loses, I think she takes her defeat. I wouldn't say gracefully, but after her breakdown, she takes it gracefully, I think.
I don't agree with that.
Not gracefully, but let me think. She accepts it.
She accepts it.
But also kind of needs to sink it in. Which is why
I think for her defeat was more ammo of her goal in the first place, which was to defeat Phoenix, and that goal being to inadvertently defeat Edgeworth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I would say that Francisca. So when she loses, he gets all petty and upset about it. It's not malicious. He's just petty.
It's just an immature emotional reaction where she knocks Phoenix unconscious by whipping him.
He's pretty young. He's only 18.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's inexcusable that she has an immature reaction. I'm just saying, but it is straight up an immature reaction, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite lines, one of my favorite moments in the game is when Phoenix wakes up and he has Francisca help investigation. You guys know the moment.
Is it when? Go on.
In 3.5, when he wakes up and Francisca goes to help him, one of my favorite lines in the entire game, in the entire series, is Phoenix looking at her and saying, Maybe it's something along the lines of maybe it's just the maybe it's the medications, but she's actually kind of cute when she gets upset like this.
No, I remember that. It wasn't like at the beginning. It was. I forget exactly when it was. It was in front of the Temple Gate or something.
Right when she comes to help him. Like he's outside of the temple. He's right outside the temple, and then they're talking to each other, and she's getting upset about stuff, and he's like, "Hey, wait, he's actually kind of cute like that."
And then he gets whipped.
And she whips him. What foolish thoughts are you thinking, Frank?
Yeah.
I guess I kind of want to move on to talking about Francisco's investigation, but I also want to talk about Miles' reaction to being a defense attorney, and I'm split on which one we should talk about first.
The defense attorney, Edgeworth as defense attorney came first. So
is there a kick me sign on the defense bench? Fucking great line.
He's having a bad time.
It's Miles for the first time truly gets the pain Phoenix has to go through.
I love seeing Miles so just vulnerable, I guess. Just seeing him like as having a weakness. It's a lot more fun than seeing him as like a perfect attorney.
No,
and that's why I love investigations and this case so much, because
there is
Miles actually gets like some like downsides to him, and I love seeing it.
Well, that's another reason why I love 1-5, because that is also a case of Edgeworth while on the prosecution bench being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, 3-5 definitely did a lot to make me care more about Edgeworth. Like, I thought he was all right before, but he was like, all right, now he's pretty cool. I think he's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruben, I think you'll love. In that sense, I think you will appreciate investigations, what they do with Edgeworth, especially investigations too.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say something.
We do have a lot of trial to go through, so maybe we should keep moving on with the story if everyone's okay with that.
Honestly, there's not much to talk about with the first day trial other than Edgeworth having a shitty time at the defense bench, and he finds shit out. He basically he talks about Larry's fucking picture of the bridge on fire and Iris supposedly flying.
Yeah. And then there's the funny line of the funny line where they're suggesting that Larry they suggest that he's high.
Hi, this man's really high.
True. Also, there was one thing I wanted to say is that that really bothers me, but it's not really what really bothers me is that Edgeworth's right for the trial as a defense attorney. They just flipped it.
Yeah.
Which means that he's backwards.
That's a good point. I never really realized that.
You say he's backwards, but his sprite...
His badge is on the wrong side. He points with the other hand now, which is weird. His symmetry is now different.
Yeah.
In terms of the design itself, it's not that weird because he's a pretty symmetrical character design. But
except for the badge, it's on the wrong side.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's weird though because couldn't they have very easily just flipped the sprite and then put the badge on the right side? It's like that's like one of the few things that shouldn't have been a problem.
At least with the 3D games, it was not as that issue doesn't happen because they're models now, so they can just turn the model.
No, right.
There's a lot of story in this that we find out just what happens, like just basically who was where, stuff. The bridge was a big point. But honestly,
there's a lot that doesn't add up with like Iris being able to actually commit the crime.
Yeah.
I think, what Edgeworth does is he proves that Iris was in the temple and couldn't have gone to the sanctum. Or
well, at the very least, there's two. She has two alibis, practically. Because apparently she's at the temple with Maya, but also not at the temple, killing someone. So
true.
I don't know. I loved playing as Miles Edgeworth as the defense attorney. I thought that was really fun. But overall, this part of the trial just didn't do much for me. Mainly just witnesses I didn't enjoy too much.
Well, it's Sister Bikini and Larry. They're the witnesses.
Yeah.
So Sister Bikini.
Witnesses in this. This case doesn't really have much in the way of witnesses.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Mainly Larry.
He uses
Mainly.
them well.
Yeah, it doesn't have much, but it makes use of the ones they do have well.
Mhm.
By making Larry the punching bag, Sister Bikini. He's like, oh, she has bad memory. I'll have you know. You know, she's still pretty low key, but they use her well enough, especially for the Miles section where the focus is more on Miles' first time and less the kooky witness he's up against at first. So I think it's good that she's the first witness to kind of let us focus more on his experience and trials.
Edgeworth uses evidence to to challenge your entire mental capacity.
No, literally. Even though, if I'm not mistaken, just like Victor Kudo, Sister Bikini wasn't incorrect in what she saw. Well, except for maybe the hood.
Ooh.
The hood.
He was assuming that the hood was there because Iris always has a hood on, but he didn't have it on that time.
But everything else, I thought she technically got right, only because of the crime itself. That's why it didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can move.
The body.
I think we can move on to the second investigation day.
I actually have 2 more points I want to bring up really quick. New judge thoughts. The Canadian.
I mean, technically he was introduced in case 4. He's alright.
No, I know, but the new judge in general, like both
he's
case 4
alright.
and case here.
Alright.
This can really make an impression on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's a fun homage to the previous case, but overall, I do kind of miss the other judge.
Yeah.
But I do understand.
I know why they did it. It's because Edgeworth couldn't be the defense if he was with the other judge.
Yeah. And then furthermore, I want to bring up the just kind of how implausible this bridge thing is. Just how it works, how they got off the rope and onto the ground, and it does not make sense, honestly. I think the math just does not add up with it.
Well, I guess for you, what would have happened if they tried the bridge maneuver of basically just using a pendulum from the higher side of the cliff to the lower side?
Just swings into the fucking rock. Genuinely. And then it either falls down or
would the body actually hit the rocks?
Why? Wait, why
it would hit the rocks.
What, the rocks where? At the bottom or on the side of the cliff?
Side of the cliff.
Why do you say that?
I mean, I just it just seems so implausible, and that the fucking rope was so perfectly the right length or something, or that the rocks were just always just did not do anything, and the bridge was burning, but somehow this rope was still so sturdy.
I agree.
It just,
I'll say this. I think the rope did break once it got to the end, because that's why it's not there anymore. Actually, no, it's still hanging, so never mind. But
it snapped, though, I'm pretty sure.
It snapped, and then at the perfect moment, she just flies off, lands.
I think, yeah. Probably realistically, she would have snapped at the bottom, most likely. But I don't think it's that. It's obviously implausible, but not impossible in that sense.
Well, I think that the most strain on the rope would have been at the end of the arc.
Would have been.
Not at the bottom. Yeah, because of the momentum. The momentum would continue to carry it to the end of the arc when now gravity is.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Now gravity has negated the upwards momentum, but it still has the horizontal momentum.
Yeah. But lengthwise, the rope was supposed to be a support beam for the bridge, so it has to reach from the the cliff to the bridge, and then it's going from a higher elevation to lower elevation, so it's theoretically be more distance that you're. Well, yeah.
I thought it was similar elevation.
No, it's explicitly higher on the other side, because they remember when they say remember when they say that the body on the autopsy report fell 10 feet or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, it was from the swing, but it's also because she was swung to a higher position than she was on the other side of the cliff.
Wait, so she went up?
Well, no. Okay, so so on the
when she entered her arc, it was higher than the.
Yeah, on the inner temple side is higher up, so she starts in a higher position, swings to the other side, and she drops to the lower position, basically.
Yeah. I just think, doing it 100 times, it'll work, at best, maybe 10 times, and it just feels very flimsy to plan the entire fucking thing around
that wasn't the plan.
Well, it wasn't planned. The plan did not include lightning strike
Yeah, that's the
In the
only
bridge.
yeah, they had to do that because of the lightning strike.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
It's so interesting to see like everything just line up really well.
I mean, you have to just suspend your disbelief for it. It's possible, and that's what matters.
yeah.
Which is that's kind
That was the
of
whole
the
point
calling
of it, yeah.
card. The calling card of the series.
Right.
Yeah.
No matter how improbable, it's still possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes suspending your disbelief kind of bites you in the ass, though, because like I'm not sure, but
well,
that is
there's
the
a certain
disbelief that you should be calling out during the trial.
Con, there's a certain case of Apollo Justice where suspension of disbelief gets thrown out the fucking window.
Really?
Because it's
Yeah,
so
I know
fun.
what Joker's talking about.
No, yeah, no. Con, I'll just.
Is it 4-3? Is it 4-3?
Yes, it's 4-3. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but holy shit.
Honestly, I don't even give a shit if I hate everything in between the first and last trial of Apollo Justice. I just love the first and last trials so much that I can disregard everything else. That's how biased I am about it.
Damn.
I like the second case a lot though in Apollo Justice.
That's good too. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
I actually don't think that's
It's okay.
3-3.
I actually dislike the second trial of Apollo Justice.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know
You're
what?
like the
I went there.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
In relation to Trials and Tribulations, I think I would put 4-2 around the same boat as 3-3.
Wait, so Turnabout Big Top. No, sorry, not Turnabout Big. Fucking, that's 2-3. Sorry. Recipe for Turnabout.
Yeah.
Oh, I heavily disagree with that. I think Recipe Turnabout's way fucking better. But
I don't know. I enjoy.
That's because you hate the whole fucking game.
no. Here's the thing. 2-2 is sorry. 4-2 is a
Trials
case
and Tribulations.
4-2 is a case I mostly don't have any problems with, but it also doesn't do anything for me. Which is why I think
I enjoyed it.
Well, that's a different game. Let's play.
Yeah, it's a different game. Different game.
But
Phoenix Wright back.
yeah, he's back.
Francisca time.
And Gumshoe.
And Edgeworth manages to give us one more day to find out what really happened.
Yeah.
Wahoo.
Phoenix is gets to talk with Iris a little bit. Does Phoenix really get to do? He gets to do some psych-locks, like with Pearls and not really with Iris, like a little bit, but not everything.
I think he got one with Bikini.
What was Bikini Psych-lock was about Misty Faye.
Yes.
If you want, we can talk about that.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to talk about. Thoughts on this twist?
I'm really glad that actually Misty Faye came into play again. It's really sad that she's fucking dead now, and Maya has no mom, like officially. But
Yeah, she never had a mom. Come on, Misty Faye left when she was like a tiny little kid.
Yeah, but now it's like any hope of like seeing her again is now like officially crushed, and it's like she got murdered. You know, it's just extra layers. Of fuck, man.
Yeah, I think it was just very sad, just like learning about it, and like, but it was also kind of bittersweet because like it showed like I think Misty Faye was just doing it for Maya. Like,
as tragic as it is, it brought some closure at least.
Yeah, definitely closure. I mean, Maya got to meet her.
Yeah, but she never got to like.
She never knew. She never knew.
Never got to know though, which is I think the best part.
Yeah, but definitely got to meet her, and that's nice to hear.
One weird thing, this is a nitpick, is how different her design is between the first game Portrait and Trials and Tribulations.
You're right. That is a nitpick.
Doesn't even have her face in it, does it?
I'm sorry? No, it has her face in it, Portrait, in the first game. She has like
I don't remember.
I mean I describe how she looks. She kind of has like short grandma hair, where it's just kind of like, you know.
It looks
almost like
it looks pretty similar. Do you mind if I put this? Where do I post the picture?
You can post it in like videos, like general, whichever.
All right.
But
that's her versus.
Yeah, it's probably most of the hair I'm referring to.
Yeah, just the hair, honestly.
I think it's because it's a front-on shot versus a side shot. It's not like the most different thing in the world, but it's still not similar, I would say.
I think if the hair was the same, you would have no problem.
The first pick would probably be like how she looked years ago,
Right.
and this is how she looks now. I don't think it's a big jump. Her hair just grew, I
It's
guess.
not a big jump, but it's still like I don't like put it together. I'm like, this is the same person. So I don't know. Like you said, I agree it's a nitpick, but it's also just like, damn, she does not look the same at all.
I think that's also the point.
Yeah,
I don't think she's trying to really she's in hiding.
No, that
Yeah.
makes
But
sense.
also, I will be honest. I have probably given her. I've probably given Misty Faye like the least amount of thought that you could possibly give a character. I haven't considered her or thought about her in any real capacity. I was just like, yeah, there she is. Whatever.
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair. She not super important. Only showed up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe if she was in another case, it would have been more like more like kind of emotionally attached. But didn't really get to see her that much. She felt just very neutral when I talked to her.
Currently feel bad for Maya, but like
Yeah.
some person that I have no connection to, or whatever.
Even though I was like wondering what her deal was, I thought she was pretty a pretty warm person, and even though she's not that important to the case, maybe question mark. Besides being the victim, I guess, but I thought she was pretty important very important to the characters because it drove like the motivations for a lot of people. You know.
Something I just realized, and if you guys don't mind me jumping ahead to, who's behind it, kind of, with Morgan Faye, I mean.
Okay.
In her attempt to kill her niece, she indirectly killed her sister.
I don't think she would care.
I think
she would be happier about that.
Oh, I didn't.
She'd probably be ecstatic.
I didn't say she cared. I'm just observing the sequence of events. I don't think Morgan Faye would care if she killed the entire fucking temple's worth of people if it meant her going the power.
Yeah.
But what do we know about
Now I'm the ruler.
Isn't
my ruling?
Misty Face? Wasn't Misty Face supposed to be like really good at channeling?
Misty Faye? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. How come she didn't just stop channeling Dahlia?
Mostly because then Pearls would start channeling Dahlia.
But it was already after the moment that she was supposed to do that, right?
Wasn't the thing like she tried to like summon her just so Pearl couldn't?
Yeah, but
then in the part when Dahlia's trying to murder Maya.
Well, I think it's always a case of like it's always hard to like stop channeling, especially if someone has the person you're channeling has a strong will. But also, if she's probably figured if she stops channeling, Pearl's gonna start channeling, and Pearls definitely cannot turn her off. So Pearls would.
Okay, well, who cares if she gets turned off? If Pearl can't turn her off, if she's gonna die anyway.
No, because the reason why is because Dahlia can do whatever the fuck she wants in Pearl's body where they were. Where Misty was, I have to say it now. Godo was already in hiding to fucking make sure nothing happened, which he did. So it was a lot more controlled situation. Whereas if Dahlia gets in Pearl's body, she can fucking wreak havoc on the other side of the island, or just sneak around doing whatever.
I don't agree. I think if she had the ability to stop midway through killing Maya, she would have, no matter what. I think just it's her daughter. She's gonna care most about her,
feel
like in the moment.
Should have been able to just turn that off. Because I also don't like Pearl cried and then she stopped crying. She's like, "Oh, it didn't work. Well, I'm gonna go cry in this shack."
I think it's a matter. I know, like in 2-2, they kind of go into how an experienced channeler should be able to like just turn it off. But honestly, throughout the series, in all practicality, that's not really either how it works or B like that easy.
I mean, the most we get through the series of spirit channeling is Maya and Pearl's channeling Mia, which is like
in which case Mia just leaves whenever because
they're
on the same page.
At least in the original.
Spirit of Justice is a new example where that's weird.
But also that's Maya, who is of these three characters the weakest one.
No, I'd say by the end of by Trials and Tribulations, Maya is I think a better spirit channeler than Pearls.
I wouldn't say that.
Because no,
Probably, yeah.
no, but she is, because think about what she does in fucking Trials and Tribulations. She challenged Dahlia for like what, 2 or 3 days straight.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, just because Pearl hasn't done it doesn't mean she can't do it.
No, she hasn't done it, but
They went through a lot to be like, yeah, Pearl is the strongest person in the fucking clan.
Pearl's like a prodigy. But Maya had, again, like Maya in Trials and Tribulations, I think proves that she's very fucking capable, and she's done something that we haven't seen any other channel or do up to this point. So I'm not saying Pearls can't fucking exceed Maya in terms of skill, but as of now, I don't think we've seen it.
I will, yeah, we haven't seen it, but I don't think that means that Maya's stronger than Pearl at this point.
At the very least, though, I don't think you can definitively say Pearl's stronger when we haven't seen what she can do other than just normally channel.
The reason I say Pearl's stronger is because they made a big deal of and made it a point that Pearl is the most powerful channeler in the clan. And yes, Maya's been training. Pearl's also been training. So, like,
I will say
they've both been training the whole time.
I would say by spirit of justice, I would almost definitely say Maya's better than Pearl's.
I wouldn't say that just because we haven't seen a comparison of their abilities at that point. Because I would go off of the fact that Pearl was stronger before, and both of them were training throughout the same time. So
at the very, I don't know. I will not at the moment concede. I agree. Pearl has more raw ability and was able to catch on a lot quicker than Maya was. Like first game Maya is nothing compared to second game Pearl's, but considering what Maya is able to do, I think that's heavily impressive, and still fucking good at channeling. Okay, I branched off with a lot of what I was saying. I apologize. So I guess we can move back to we were talking about Misty Faye mostly. I guess we can move back to the rest of the investigation with like Gumshoe building a bridge in like practically 30 minutes.
Oh yeah,
he kind of goated that.
Like that was pretty fucking goated. And the bridge he built was sturdier than the bridge that was there, even though it's literally just a bunch of planks.
No.
Like
Gumshoe is a carpenter?
Gumshoe Chet Energy? Question mark?
Gumshoe is Jesus? Question mark?
I love Gumshoe in this game. Mostly because of 3-3 and 3-5.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool. So nice.
Gumshoe 3, epic.
I guess if you want, we move on to talking about pearls in the investigation.
I agree.
Great, I love Pearl.
I think a good place to start is the portrait of Misty Faye.
Yeah.
No,
the gravy.
I thought it was the portrait of Amy Faye.
Was it?
I think it might have actually been well, actually, no,
it was Misty.
It was Misty because of the emblem at the top. That's supposed to be the Master's emblem.
It is Misty Faye.
Mm.
Is it Amy or Ami?
I'm adamant it's Ami Faye.
Wait, why was there a portrait of Misty Faye there?
Because it's a spirit channeling voice. It's and she was the master. It's your most recent master, so they had a portrait of her. I don't know. I think that makes sense.
I see.
And then it was so sad because she misread the letter wrong.
She misunderstood it.
Yeah, and then she
didn't understand what they were saying.
No,
hold on.
That was so fucking funny.
I know. I love how she's asking Misty, like, how do you say this? That's gravely. Oh, and this?
Yeah.
That's roast.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that must have been so sad to help with.
What?
Dude. To know exactly what is happening to you.
I don't think that Misty Faye read the whole content of the note, because if she had, then he could have just been like, hey, this is don't do this, Pearl, please.
I think that's a good point. However, I think she was just the way of her doing that is by her trying to channel, because I think that's how she found out about the plan, right? Misty Faye?
No, she found out about
Godot
the plan.
told her about
it. Godot listened in on the Pearls and Morgan's conversation. And found the note before even Pearls did, and basically either made a copy or just remember what the plan was. But yeah,
I feel like if Pearl had shown Misty the note and be like, hey, look at this, I'm pretty sure Misty would be like, "Hey, how about you don't do that?"
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter like about blowing your cover. It's a matter of if you see something that weird. It's like, kid, what are you doing with a fucking murder note? Like,
You do realize that this note says to kill somebody on it?
what? No, I'm supposed to channel someone who is a serial killer.
I know that you're 8, but like this says roast gravely in like the fires of hell or some shit.
Like, even if you don't know what roast means, like, if you're saying fires of hell, what? Pearls doesn't have much of that common sense.
Excuse me, miss. What does
Pearl
genocide
is
mean?
Excuse me.
Pearl is extremely sheltered.
Excuse me, miss. What does disembowel mean? Oh, But no, I thought that was a really good hint to the fucking note.
This non sequitur, but it makes me realize that based on the like how Pearl has been like just hanging around with Phoenix and Maya since the second game, he probably knows more about murder and like murder criminal. He probably knows more about criminal justice than he knows about like pop culture.
No, she probably knows about criminal justice
I
and
agree.
like fucking like multiplication.
He knows more about murder than he knows about like just general school stuff.
Pearls, you know about the newest pop fad? No, but I knew about this detective that killed somebody.
Oh yeah. You want to hear about this case about how this guy murdered 3 people?
No. Oh, okay. So Mr. Nick went. No, okay. Well, based on
Well, he
Apollo
took this
Justice,
screwdriver, right, and he stabbed it into the guy's skull.
based off Apollo Justice and Dual Destinies, though, I feel like Phoenix Wright kind of is pop culture at some point. Like, I mean, obviously in the legal community, Phoenix was a big deal, but like, you know, Apollo was like a fucking fanboy of him, which is one thing. And then like, I don't know, it's probably just pop culture to like people that are like know anything about law, but I don't know. It feels like it's more popular than it would be in the real world, you know.
He's basically the most famous lawyer in the world.
Oh, by end of Trials and Tribulations, yeah. Like they don't in the original trilogy, they don't play that up at all, but like every game afterwards treats Phoenix like a fucking celebrity.
Wow.
Not Spirit for All or Justice for All or Spirit of Justice.
Well, Apollo Justice.
Oh, definitely Apollo Justice.
Well, Apollo Justice, he's not a celebrity because people think he defamed himself.
Yes, he is. He definitely is a celebrity. Everyone thinks he's the legend. The legend of Phoenix Wright. Okay. The legend of Phoenix Wright.
I was about to say he's not a celebrity in the sense that people still love him, but he's still very well known. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Celebrity scandal.
Yeah. No, literally.
Phoenix got canceled.
No, Phoenix got canceled.
Right.
Made fun of Acro.
Apollo's fist canceled Phoenix's face in case 1.
We were talking about Pearl. Pearl is cool, and I like her.
Edgeworth Earthquake.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that comes back. He freaks out because of earthquake and lets.
I appreciate that comes back.
It definitely, yeah.
And it's like, and it makes sense how the switcheroo was able to occur and whatnot.
Okay. I think was it like around this time that this is actually Dahlia, like when the switch happened?
So
it's when the earthquake happened.
She runs over to the inner temple, and then Dahlia fucking.
She unlocks the lock to help Maya.
Dahlia like shoves her in and puts new locks on.
She puts a bunch of locks on.
Yeah, and that's the person is the person that we're talking to now is no longer Maya, and Maya channeling Dahlia.
Yes.
And Iris is now hidden in the temple where we think Maya is.
Where she is now going to slowly perish. While Bikini unlocks these locks.
Which I will say, it's especially going to the trial day. It's a nice hint that Maya is the one channeling her because Dahlia has the black hair.
Mm-hmm.
Because she the whole time she's like, "Oh, Pearls is channeling me." It's like Pearls would not have the same hair then, which is exemplified by Mia when she's channeled by.
Oh right, that's so right.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's a good point. Let's see.
That's the whole reason that the fake out can even occur, is that
She had the same hair.
it's Maya channeling Dahlia, so she has the same hair color.
Granted, I'm not sure if Dahlia would have even noticed where her hair color was if she actually was in like the dark.
He doesn't even know. I mean, he doesn't even know who Pearl is.
No, she knows who Pearls is.
Well, no. Why would she? I mean, he knows
Pearl's hair color?
He doesn't know Pearl's hair color. Yeah.
I mean, I assume I would assume. Keyword being assumed. I would assume Morgan would tell her a little bit about it. You know, show her a picture of Pearl. Not that it necessarily matters what Pearl looks like, but
I mean,
I think just for the sake
necessary
of
for the plan. So
sake of the plan, Dahlia is too strong of a spirit and will overpower the physical attributes of whoever they possess.
Okay. I mean,
I think. Remember, Spirit of Justice. The fucking guy, like the guy with like the bones and stuff. Like he definitely
he still has Maya's
he
hair.
Still had the hair. Yeah, he still had the hair.
Everybody still.
The hair doesn't change.
But actually, was one thing to keep a note.
Actually, I realized I was just making a funny joke, but then I'm just thinking about it. Hair is dead skin cells, so like the argument could be made that it doesn't change because it's dead cells, and the rest of your body's living cells when you channel the spirit. You know.
I think the fingernails change. Otherwise, they would be like falling off because the hands get larger.
Or smaller. In which case, they just
they just get smushed and crushed and cracked.
Here's the thing though about nails and hair. How is it if it's dead? How does it grow and stay connected to each other?
Or the cells that are being put at the bottom.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
There's more, like at the root, more dead cells are being added.
Okay. Okay. That's an interesting point, but also I'm gonna move on. It's
a completely random thought that I had.
What else wanted to say? Oh yeah, and also with Dahlia, when she was first heading to the temple on the night of the crime, she purposely wore the hood to hide her hair potentially, if that was gonna be an issue. Which, and if she was handled by Pearls, it would have been. Based off what we know, when she was handled by Elise, I don't know if her hair would have been a different color. I assume maybe a little bit, but not like that different.
Something that was a little weird to me was just how Edgeworth was so oblivious to the similarities between Dahlia and Iris.
Oh, he had to look it up to remember like that.
Yeah.
I think to be fair, I think Edgeworth is somewhat similar in situations as a judge, where A, it was his first case, and B, it was a case he probably wanted to forget, especially with how proud Edgeworth was when he was younger. But I agree, it's kind of weird that he forgot that who Dahlia was when he should have done well. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, I noticed. I found out that the animations for young Edgeworth in this game are very similar, exactly the same as Von Karma in the first game.
That's always a really fun touch to see.
That's intentional.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that while playing it. I was like, yeah, that's Edgeworth animations, but no, those animations are from Von Karma.
Well, mostly I'm thinking like the finger wag he does.
Yeah.
The only animation of Von Karma's Edgeworth doesn't do is the snap.
The snap?
Well, okay, not the only, but the only main animation, I should say.
The snap? What snap?
When Von Karma snaps.
Von Karma snaps.
Yeah.
He snaps and then points.
It's practically Von Karma's desk lamp.
I don't even remember. That's weird. Anyway.
But, what else happened?
I guess we could talk about what we find out. We don't want to move on to the trial yet. We want to talk about at least a little bit more about what we find out during Phoenix's investigation, I assume.
Yeah.
We find the blood.
The what?
Blood.
Blood.
Like in the garden, are you talking about? Or?
The blood and the garden. The blood on the thing and the big old square.
Right.
It's like, hey, that's weird. Anyway, we're gonna do something else now, and they don't talk about it until later.
Yeah.
Something really important to know: Iris and Dahlia, children of Morgan.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
which makes them
that's
siblings of Pearl, but more importantly,
yes.
children of Morgan.
They also have 0 channeling capabilities.
They have some. Is it okay?
No,
if
they
they're-
don't.
No. Hear me out. If they're able to do the locks though, or don't they have to have some spirit channel, some spiritual
No.
power?
Didn't they just say that it's
Locks?
like you set a combination on the lock and then you
Yeah,
do that?
that's just a thing.
Like, Bikini expressly says that Iris has no
Okay.
channeling
The
ability.
reason why I ask because it's not just a matter of though like setting the locks. It's making the locks out of nowhere.
They weren't made out of nowhere.
Weren't they like
Picked them up.
in there?
It was like in the stored. It was stored away.
I was always under the impression that the locks appeared out of nowhere because otherwise, they look.
They
exactly
certainly did not appear out of nowhere.
like,
They are physical objects.
Well,
They are not.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they look exactly like the Cyclops, and there's nothing. Seemingly, there's nothing physical on them that would be.
Well,
like a
Cyclops
contradiction.
aren't unique to
I mean, presumably it's just limitation of the art. You can't have the extreme detail on it.
I was
Yeah.
always under the impression that the locks were made of spiritual power, which is why only Dahlia and Iris
No.
were the ones able to like decode them. And
No, 'cause
I'm looking at the
Iris
wiki right
was-
now.
Iris was trying to unlock it at the beginning. Because she's not the one who said it. She was trying to unlock it.
yeah, but my point is, why did they even need Iris to unlock it then if it's a physical lock? If she
Because she knows all of the combinations of them. So she's just checking every single combination possible.
The door to the sacred cavern within the training hall where Maya was suspected to be sealed with a trick lock, which resembled a physical psych lock. And Missy's picture scroll was smeared with gravy.
Oh yeah.
You shall gravy roast Misty's face.
So it was just a trick lock.
Yeah, it's just a lock.
It's not a psychic thing
In that
at
case,
all.
at least in my opinion, that's a bit weirdly established then that, it's seemingly they just pop out of nowhere, at least in my opinion.
I mean,
I never got the impression that.
Yeah, I never got that impression. They pulled that out of a drawer and put it on there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like kind of like the aesthetic of like psychic. The lock on the thing is like kind of like psychic locks, just like real life one instead of like imaginary ones.
Right.
Presumably, the person who made them was a person who had previously used the Magatama. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong on this, I'll accept that. I legit did not think that up to this point.
Yeah.
We were talking about that for what reason again? Where were we moving on from? Just with them switching the locks and having the
They switch.
Pretty sure you pulled that up because
Yeah,
we were talking about
you-
Dahlia and Iris having no powers. Dahlia might have powers. Iris, I'm pretty sure we're confident if she has them, they haven't been awakened.
I'm assuming Dahlia and Iris are probably on the same level of in aptitude.
Yeah,
but-
I would. If Dahlia had powers, she probably would be abusing them.
Yeah, probably.
Or Morgan would be abusing her.
True.
I don't think so. I think she would have been.
Sorry, abusing
think-
the powers. My bad.
No,
both of them.
I agree like with the first one, not the second one. I feel like Dahlia would have just like ran away and not let her do that, or maybe. But okay. Godo shows up.
He
Cool
does.
and epic.
And
He goes like, yes, I'm here now.
if finally Godo finally gives his reason for why he hates Phoenix.
Because you
Is it in this?
let her die.
Yeah, he does. Where he basically talks about like Mia, because at this point, the player already knows about him being Diego Armando, so which is probably why. And Godo.
Wait, what?
We mean wait, what?
Was that confirmed?
What
do you mean was that confirmed?
Diego Armando looks exactly like him.
He
No,
looked exactly
Godo has the thing on his.
Bruh.
But yeah, no. So he tells him like because he let Mia die, he's mad at Phoenix and blames him for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Con, you want to talk about this?
yeah, that's interesting because I mean, he kind of won me over by the end, kind of.
Mhm.
I love the character still. Don't get me wrong, but his reason for becoming a prosecutor, for like quote unquote revenge on Phoenix felt really petty to me, and sort of like a repeat of Francisca. Though, weirdly enough, as I established in the first part, it was executed better in this game than in Justice for All. Weirdly enough, I had said that Goto felt a little bit like an afterthought to the case, even though Francisca feels more like an afterthought than Goto does in Justice for All. It's kind of complicated, but makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah. I think.
But yeah, it's just the repeat of the revenge thing kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But it was executed well,
Francisca doesn't
That
want
concept,
revenge.
good execution in a way.
I think-
Francisca doesn't want revenge. She wants to dominate.
Yeah, she wants to prove herself.
I guess. Does she, okay? What I thought? Didn't she explicitly say she wanted? Isn't that revenge for the father?
I'm
like,
pretty
I will
sure
avenge
she
my
explicitly
father?
said,
I
don't
think
want
she just
to
wanted to be better than her father.
I thought she said she didn't. She wasn't there for revenge.
No, she said no, but she did.
She
say
said,
that,
my father had what was coming to him.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, Ruben says it exactly. I think that's like a direct quote. She just wants to like beat the man who beat her father.
Oh, I know. I agree. That's
She wants to beat the man who beat Edgeworth.
Oh, I
Yeah,
agree. That's
exactly.
her actual motive. But I thought she
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you first meet her, she said otherwise.
No,
Just
I
to
don't
hide
think
the
so.
fact.
No, that would be super against her
And
character.
my issue with my initial issue with Goto
You're swaying me
was,
towards Von Karma.
to be fair, it was less to do with it being a repeat and more to do with feeling petty.
That's a good point, and definitely see that. But I'd say like just try to put yourself in his shoes. Like the woman he loved,
I know.
You
And
wake up, everything's gone, and in her place is someone who you don't believe to be worthy, and who died on her watch or on his watch, and she died on his.
I agree with all that.
I'm not going to say that Godot wasn't being petty, because it's not reasonable. But he was projecting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's like his emotions
himself.
sort of getting the better of him in a way, which is why he's being so.
That's basically his entire motivation is his emotions getting the better of him.
Right.
Yeah, and I love all of that. As I said, he won the idea of it, coming back for revenge was sort of petty, felt petty to me, but it was executed so well, like all the actual, motivation behind it all, that I forgave it. Even though initially it bothered me a little bit, it's a revenge thing. I'm not like it.
And I mean, I don't know, like, the whole point is that it's petty. It's not supposed to be reasonable.
Yeah, Phoenix points out right away. It's like, but that's not my fault.
I guess the first impression, not first impression, but the first impression of his motives were like kind of bothersome to me until it was all revealed, Yeah. And the reason I felt it was like an afterthought to the case, even though it was better than how Francisca was in Justice for All, as an afterthought. It coming after like the supposed fall climax of it all, defeating Dahlia, and now we got to deal with Gotos. It felt a little off. We kind of joked about it with Joseph, because like Mia was there. Do you remember the exact quote, Joseph, that I did?
That you said? No, I did not.
You know how I was Phoenix and you were Mia, and I was like, "What the hell, Mia? This doesn't fit the 3-act structure at all."
No, well, all right, well, that's right, Phoenix. Time for the epilogue or something like that. I don't know. I think I forget what I said. We may have it on the quote.
It was. Then get ready for the epilogue, Phoenix, because this is going to be a doozy.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
but yeah, in retrospect, it all worked quite well. I think it hit the intended emotional responses for me. Me personally, just as someone who is so familiar with story structure and character development and motivations and stuff, I sort of, jumped the gun with all the, wait, that's not how it's supposed to be. This is bothersome to me. It's etc. But thankfully, I was patient, was optimistic about it, and then it won me over.
Yeah.
I will say about the post Dahlia moments with him with Godot is that I had no idea what I was doing at that point.
Yeah, we'll get to there when we get there.
We did it. Dahlia's gone, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I was very much in the same mindset.
I mean, we should probably speed up, to be fair. I kind of need to be out of the house by like 7.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, well, we can speed up. Just really quickly about the Godot Petty thing. I agree. I mainly disagree, but I actually have a point. Kind of like how he was actually trying to prosecute Maya nearing the end when he kind of protected her the day before just to spite Phoenix. I felt that was a bit petty.
It's the whole character.
I don't think that was out of pettiness. I think that was out purely to test Phoenix and have Phoenix prove himself. I don't think Goto would have gone through with it.
Maybe.
No, I think he would have gone through with it.
I think he would have gone through with it. Yeah.
He absolutely would have. It was both being petty and a test. He was challenging Phoenix to see if he could do it. He didn't think he could do it. He was fully intending to just let Maya go down for it and be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I knew it. You suck.
Honestly, what you guys say what you guys say probably makes more sense with how Goto describes himself. He's like, maybe until now. Because he kind of shifted how he's gonna treat Maya and how she was gonna end up pretty much. But yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, the thing that I want to say about Godot is that before the end of Case 5, Godot fucking hates women. I just want to make sure that is out there. Godot hates women. He treats women horribly in this game until the end of Case 5. And I feel that it's because he hates Dahlia so much that he's mistrustful now. If you look at all of Godot's interactions with women in this game, I mean, come on.
I mean, in my opinion, his only interactions that you...
That's a really good insight.
Okay, do you see yourself with Kitten with, some sexism there with Mia where he calls her
He
Kitten?
calls women kitten. He calls Mia kitten.
It's mostly...
With Adrian Andrews.
What does he call her? What is it called?
Kitten.
He calls Mia kitten.
Oh.
Does he interact with Adrian Andrews?
No, he doesn't. Not really.
No.
I don't think. I'm sure.
With Desiree Delight, though, he basically doesn't listen to a single thing she says, and is shutting her down.
He does grill her really hard.
But I mean,
he goes hard, and he doesn't listen to anything she says.
You say that, but he also had another reason for doing that, which is she was a civilian finding evidence and whatnot. And he's like, we can't accept that in a court, which he is right about.
Furthermore, derivative to Maggie Bird in Case 3, and then in Case Case 4 doesn't count because that was before. He wasn't like that before. Case 5,
Francisca.
The most notable is Francisca. She's trying to speak and he's like, settle down, big boys are talking.
Yeah, she zip up and shut up. The big boys are talking. No, literally.
Yeah.
I do kind of get where you're coming from, but there also could be an argument to say, just as a whole, he's just because he has, as a whole, just been a completely different person, meaner to everyone now. Possibly women more, but I do believe there's an argument that it's just he's meaner to everyone.
No. Oh no, he's definitely at least a little sexist.
He's more crass for sure, but he's definitely got some sexism going on until the end when he's like, "All right, I changed my mind. I have reviewed. Women are okay."
Well, I had to ask what you said, Maggie Bird.
Sexism is no
I don't
more.
remember anything about Maggie Bird being.
He goes hard on Maggie Bird. He goes hard. He goes hard on every woman.
I don't know. I didn't feel like he was being specifically sexist or anything.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he doesn't treat Maggie the same way she's Ron, but that's also because Ron is working with Goto at first, practically.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, 3-2 is so fucking good.
I think we can move on to the trial then.
Yeah.
All right.
The final trial?
I'll just say this, Rob. I love how competent Phoenix is in this trial.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it. And that's why I love Apollo Justice so much. Perfect. Everything since Apollo Justice has Phoenix Wright being downhill in brain power. This is the pinnacle of Phoenix Wright, and he just rides that wave in Apollo Justice. He's still so much smarter.
I agree with that mostly in Dual Destinies. Spirit of Justice, I don't know if I agree with that as much.
Yeah, no. Spirit of Justice Phoenix is an idiot.
Wow.
He is an idiot, you think? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not jump the gun.
He loses
Hey, Tom.
in an arm wrestling contest. How pathetic.
Bro,
Down.
come on. Me haven't played yet.
Oh, shit.
Bro.
I don't know the context, so it's fine.
Okay,
but
whatever. Anyways, I love how competent he is in this case, and I think that's exemplified by how throughout the series, throughout the series, he relies on Mia less and less. Where obviously in the first, in the first game, Mia helps him in both cases 2 and 3, and in 4 she never gets channeled, but she kind of helps him, sort of. Right? We're all on the same page with this.
Yeah.
Second game, she helps out in case 2, but she's actually not there for case 3 at all. And in case 4, she's obviously there because fucking anyone would need help in that situation. In Trials and Tribulations, in case 2, she comes in for a very small piece of advice or some shit. Like it was like a very small thing she helped him with, right? In case 3, it was like practically a joke where she just got Victor Kudo to start talking a bit more. And then in case 5, she's there, but she does not help Phoenix at all, solve anything.
Which, by the way, what the fuck? How are they gonna say that Maya doesn't look good in a maid outfit? Come on.
Well, I mean, that's just Victor Kudo. What he thinks doesn't
Fuck
matter.
you, Victor Kudo.
Exactly.
I think, didn't Phoenix actually have a positive reaction to it?
I don't remember
I think he
if
did.
he had a
I
reaction to
think
it.
he literally says, like, maybe you should wear that more often or some shit.
I think he was just joking around because he could tell she didn't.
I mean, she didn't dislike wearing it, though.
Yeah, no.
The only thing she may have disliked was Victor Kudo, but I don't fucking know. That's not the point. But I just want to use Mia's help as exemplifying, him being more competent throughout the games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's the Ace Attorney.
He is Ace Attorney.
Finally.
It's like what he said in Case 2 with Luke Atme.
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Woo!
I guess the first thing he does, it's basically the whole first part of the trial is him questioning Dahlia, right? Because Iris is all like, I'm sorry.
What?
Well, he thinks it's Iris, but then he's like, wait a minute.
Well, yeah.
Was it? Did he talk to Iris first?
Yeah, well, I mean, who else would he have talked to first?
Oh, okay.
Iris was the first one on the stand at that point.
Because
Iris in quotes.
Something she knew or whatever. And she was basically indicting Maya. And Phoenix like, what? What the fuck, man?
And then they were like, you're not actually Iris. You're Dahlia.
Yeah, and then afterwards she's like, it doesn't matter because I'm being channeled by Pearls. Maya is dead. And everybody else is like,
Actually, Pearls is right here, so that's not true.
That is one thing I'll say. Like, Dahlia's threat that, like, Maya was dead was pretty fucking empty. Because...
Well, she believed it.
She believes it, but Ruben, that's one of the few times where I acknowledge, like, okay, yeah, Dahlia was kind of dumb in this case.
Yeah.
Like, she would actually believe Maya was dead, and it's like, alright, well, there's no body. Pearls didn't channel you, so...
Yeah, where's the fucking body, bro? Come on.
No, I love the reveal where it's like, oh, where's Maya if she's not in the inner temple? And because Iris is there, not Maya. And it's like, oh, she's channeling you, bitch!
You're in the courtroom. She's at the defendant, at the witness stand.
I kind of saw that coming, though.
Oh, I mean, to a certain extent, I did too, but
I did not.
Well, okay, I say to a certain extent, only because I predicted...
Yeah, I'm not saying it was predictable. I'm just saying I saw it coming.
What was it? I knew because obviously we knew it wasn't Pearls. I'm thinking, okay, if Dahlia's being channeled, who the fuck else would channel her?
I mean, at the point where you realize that, Dahlia's here, who else would it be?
I thought it was Iris.
You thought Iris was channeling her? Or you thought
I thought Iris was channeling. Yeah.
Really?
I thought Iris was channeling Dahlia.
That would have been a twist.
Yeah.
That would cool, but
Really twist.
Twist.
which
I
would make
don't know.
What a twist.
which would make
I don't know how that
her
would have
turning back
really.
into Iris very uneventful.
Yeah.
True.
Something cool. Find out Goto couldn't see the blood that said Maya.
Yeah, no, he could. He straight up just can't see.
I mean, it was they referenced it. They foreshadowed it in
They foreshadowed it in
Recipe
the
to Turnabout
investigation.
Yeah, in 3.
because he can't see the catch goop.
Yeah, he's like,
The
what do you mean?
ketchup.
What do you mean? There's no blood on here, and
What?
why was I told about this? And Phoenix like, do you have to be told? But yeah. And then actually, the same thing happens again. Like, why wasn't I told about the name on there? It's like, I didn't think you had to be.
And he was like, I can't see the blood, so I scoop out all the snow.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's-
Small thing before I forget. I like the moment between Gumshoe and Phoenix where they find the sword and Misty Face Kane, and Gumshoe agrees to not tell anyone about it because Phoenix is like super worried that Maya may have gotten killed or died or whatever. And Gumshoe's like, all right, pal, we'll keep it between us. That was a nice moment.
All right, pal.
All right, pal.
All right, pal.
Oh, by the way, Joseph, side note, I was looking up ProZD's voiceovers, and I noticed that his Gumshoe has a lot of deeper voice than yours.
Oh, well, yeah, ProZD's voice is just way fucking deeper than me. That's part of the reason why.
Right, pal.
I like yours better, though, honestly.
I like yours better too, Joseph. Yours is the canonical voice for Gumshoe for me.
Wait, really?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Maybe an in-between between ProZD and you.
Huh, that's actually...
But I like yours better.
That's actually very flattering. Thank you both.
Of course.
Then we find out exactly
Dahlia
what the sketch meant.
Thrown away and a crack.
Yeah, no, I love how fucking Phoenix exercises her. Like, well, actually,
It wasn't Phoenix. It was Bikini.
Bikini. Wait, what?
Yeah. Bikini comes up right after that. It's like, I got rid of her.
No, it was Phoenix. The whole moment is that Mia's like basically telling Dahlia how much of a fucking idiot she is because none of her plans have worked.
I mean, Phoenix doesn't have the capacity to exercise a
He
spirit,
did
though.
do it though. He's like, I don't give a shit. Anybody. All I want is for you to get out of Maya's body right now. And then she fucking has the whole scene of her popping out and
That was so cool.
reflecting on her crimes and just fading off into existence.
Oh, I love that. I already mentioned the Islamic parallels
with the
the
bridge,
scene
right?
Huh? Yeah.
No, you told me about that. Actually, if you want, you can say it again. Actually, did you already say it in the discussion or no?
I already mentioned it in the first part.
Shit. All right. In that case, Tom, if you want, when I eventually upload, you can watch back. But for now, for brisk pace sake, so we'll move on. I guess from here we can move on to the last stuff with Godo.
Hold on, I'm gonna be right back.
But wait, where else? So, not that like to move on too quick, but I know we talked about Dahlia and whatnot. And then I guess we just want to probably talk about the final confrontation with Godo, which when time comes back, I'll go into more detail. But I really do love it. That moment, like both the final confrontation with Godo and the last like testimony with Maya.
Yeah. The fucking theme coming back is epic.
No, that's. Hey Ruben, you remember when we were talking about how they never use corner? You said you never use corner again. I'm like, yeah, they do. In Trials and Tribulations.
Look, I Trials and Tribulations, I blocked the memories out.
Maybe you should try it again. Maybe you'll like it more.
You would like it. With an open heart and an open mind.
I don't believe so.
Trials, Tribulations.
I didn't like her the
Wonderful.
first time. I didn't like her the second time. I didn't like her the third time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna like her the fourth time.
Multiple times. Okay, never mind.
What if? Yeah, but I think when you played Trials and Tribulations. Well, when he said first, second, third, I thought he was talking about the different cases you see her.
No, I played the game 3 times.
Okay, I knew you played on Switch, and I knew you played it like originally on iOS.
I've emulated it before. I also played it on the Switch. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you only played it twice, not 3 times. Okay. Yeah, Tom?
Dahlia.
I think the animation of Dahlia leaving was super cool. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was neat.
That was
I
super
liked
fun.
it. It made the Magatama.
Yeah, Magatama.
No, it's
It
like
was marvelous.
it's a spoiler. What's up? What's up, Con?
It was marvelous.
Yes.
Marvelous. Yeah, the
And then
game, especially when they go 3D,
weird.
get a lot more extravagant with the breakdowns of final villains. But honestly, they don't really look that great for the most part. Well, Dual Destiny's breakdown for the villains is 3D looks fine. Spirit of Justice, at least for the final breakdown, doesn't look good at all in my opinion. But only Tom knows about that, so I'm not gonna go into detail at all.
No.
Yeah, I just want to talk about how like the final testimony with Maya, you start getting some pieces to accuse Goto, and the final fucking nail in the coffin is all right. We know whoever did it got slashed, right? They got injured. But if it was Goto, his clothes are fine. There's no injury on his clothes and anything. So how the fuck did he hide the wound? Where was the wound? And Phoenix reveals it's under his mask, and I love that that's what you present to do Goto in.
The entire end there is amazing.
Yeah.
No, cornered play and everything like that, and to go to.
And I like.
Go on.
I like Godo's like his feet after he's caught.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. And the wound starts opening up, and it's like, no, these are my tears, because a lawyer can't cry until it's all over.
I think that the most powerful part of it for me is how he says, "I wasn't doing it to help her. I was doing it because I wanted to, and I
It's for himself.
I didn't care who it was that was channeling her. It could have been Misty, could have been Maya, it could have even been the little girl. I would have done the same thing."
Damn.
Which is probably why Goto's probably just in jail straight up, even if you could argue self-defense, because he does not accept it as self-defense, mostly because of his motives.
It also wasn't self-defense.
Well, I mean, it's self-defense.
He wasn't being attacked.
Well,
I don't know.
It
It saved a life.
Yeah, you can apply self-defense when you're killing someone to save someone else, even though it's called self-defense. But this is a case of where he himself did it more out of revenge than to save Maya.
Still, I mean, he objectively was justified. I believe.
Yeah.
No, he was. I'm just saying, like, Goto wouldn't, defend himself.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But his motives were all wrong.
Yeah.
Better Call Saul.
No.
Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, Joseph. Is this the only time in the entire game series where the player character does not have a co-counsel?
Isn't Mia there?
No, not for the final.
No, Mia isn't there. Not for the final one.
Okay, if you want to get technical, no. Because I know in case.
I do want to get.
Okay, I'm almost positive for a good duration of case 3-2. I don't think Pearls is there at first. Actually, no, Maya's there though. Never mind.
I'm pretty sure there are times when you don't have a co-counsel in other games.
Well, I know.
If only for like a little section.
Tom, this question, did you say the only time or the first time?
Only time.
Then definitely not only time, because it happens in Dual Destinies.
Where?
Yeah.
In case 5, when
It also happens in Spirit of Justice.
It definitely happens in Spirit of Justice as well.
In
case 1.
And also with Athena.
Well, for the first part of the trial, yes. Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but it is one of the few times. You're right, Tom.
Is it the only time that
Great Ace Attorney
that it was solved with counsel?
Like I said, in Dual Destinies, it was.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure all 3 of them were there at the end.
No, they were, but I'm talking about like the trial section beforehand, where Phoenix does all the work himself, and then basically they come around to do the final portion of who did it. Because Phoenix solved practically like the past case, and then they come together to solve the current case. If that makes sense.
Okay, to be fair, I think if I remember correctly, in that case, Edgeworth was like basically his co-counsel.
Not really, actually. Edgeworth was pretty.
The Great Ace Attorney. Also, there are cases that are completely accomplished without co-counsel.
Yeah. Great Ace Attorney.
Particularly with Great Ace Attorney, it's I believe it happens with fucking what's the case? G2-3, I think, for a good portion of it.
Mhm.
And yeah, what was I say? Oh yeah.
Is that? Are we done? Is that it?
Do we have anything else to talk? I guess I can just talk about the healthy, like the epilogue.
Got to the end.
Good epilogue, good stuff with the characters at the end. I love the credits theme for this game. It's the best credits theme I've heard in any fucking game, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good.
And for some reason, I didn't realize until recently it was a variation of the trial beginning and ending theme with the.
I'm about to head out. Gotta go for a little bit here.
Yeah,
We'll
no.
probably be done. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Gotta go for a bit.
Dude, oh my gosh,
I
dude,
think we're pretty. Yeah, we're pretty.
I did not. I was so fucking bad on the final evidence because the thing is, I wanted to do it all by myself, so I didn't want to look it up.
Right.
I presented every piece of evidence and every profile 3 times over.
Let me guess. I think I'm almost positive you did the same thing I did. Where you saw the initial dialogue from Godo and reset the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I did the same thing.
The Godo profile was the second thing I saw.
For me, it was the first, and when I saw him say that, I'm like, oh, fuck, I got it wrong. And I kept on resetting until I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this? And eventually, I just presented the profile again. I just let it play out. And I'm like, all right, I just want to see what happens if I get it wrong. And I realized I didn't. I'm like, oh.
I eventually had to. I eventually looked it up, but it was.
Yeah, Joseph multiple times warns me about letting it play, even if it looks like I failed it.
Okay,
But,
that's good.
The games kind of like to, be like, gotcha about that a little
Trials
bit.
and Tribulations, in particular, is like that because it does that to you multiple times, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember that was like the one thing that got me with the final part. I'm like, oh, I honestly, I didn't like it at first that I did that. Where I'm like, oh, I have to like wait, mostly just because I fucking kept on presenting shit and didn't get it right. But no, it makes sense though. I still love it as a part of the moment, even though I wish gameplay wise I knew right away.
One of my favorite sprites of Phoenix drinking coffee was great.
Phoenix drinking coffee is fantastic.
It's awesome.
So cool.
It's so fun. Yeah.
I have to say this is the best cup of Joe I've ever had. When you say, right?
Trite. No, he calls him right.
For the first time.
Yeah.
You know what? I have to agree.
Yeah, no, I really liked the case and Phoenix just being competent and I loved it so much. I loved the victim, or I loved the characters. I loved the villain. I loved the fake villain.
When you said you loved the victim, I thought you were gonna say I love killing the victim.
Nah, I think Larry sucked the joy out of this case for me. If there was any, if there is anything I had to dislike about it.
See, here's the thing though. I feel like, okay, I don't like Larry as a character, but thankfully, most of the times I see him are like, at least the memorable points and important points are actually good comic relief with like him and Edgeworth and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I think his tit for tat with Edgeworth is pretty fun.
Yeah, that I think makes up for any of the points where it's like him and Pearl making potatoes together. I'm like, Larry, shut the fuck up. I want the pearls.
Yeah, but I enjoyed this. I think
I guess actually, Tom,
I think we can definitively say that this is the best game ever, and that Dolly is the best villain ever. And Ruben, do you have anything to say against that?
Oh wait,
I think he's muted.
No, we know.
I guess not. I guess he agrees.
I guess we could just end it off with all of us unanimously agreeing. Trials and Tribulations is the best game of all time.
Yeah. What do you think about overall this game?
Let me end with a stupid meme in the server.
Boy,
it's all good things then.
You may want to say it out loud because I can't see it.
Squidward story.
It's in the videos chat.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, okay.
That perfectly sums up this case.
Oh my god.
That's so deep.
Wait, hear me out. That makes perfect sense because Ruben is Squidward.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Squidward sword.
I feel like we've run out of things to say, and I think I know Ruben's muted, and he said he'd come back, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest, we may be able to end it here. It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Worst one worse, I'll just keep recording, and then I'll end it off.
Okay.
That's the end of the trilogy. No more games.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I would have been fine with it, but no.
I would have been fine with only the 4 and the investigations.
I would have been fine with them ending Trials and Tribulations. You cannot end that Apollo Justice. You can't do that to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, that's fair.
Hey Tom, I would love it if you could join our Apollo Justice discussion as well when I finish it.
Oh,
Of
I'm
course,
making that
because it's such a
mandatory now.
good game. It's such a good game, and you know what? I'm gonna change his opinions.
Listen. Okay, on the one hand, making me like the game more is a prospect I could get down with.
Yeah.
The only problem is I feel like what you like about the game and what I dislike about the game are not the same at all. Versus Ruben not liking Dahlia and us liking Dahlia being very, directly in conflict. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That just means it's even easier to convert you.
At the very least, okay. I think you can shift my opinion to be more positive. I don't think you're gonna get me to like it.
I think I will.
I don't think. I can guarantee you're not gonna give me the like 4-3.
Nothing electrotherapy can't fix.
Okay. I feel like I think like the writers had electrotherapy when they were writing the case. The only reason why it doesn't make any sense. I can't wait until we get back and we start that case and I can rip into it.
Such a good case.
What?
Okay, it's kind of stupid.
I understand why you would like the first case and a little bit why you would like the last case.
I love the last case.
4-3. I don't get why anyone would like 4-3. I'm gonna be honest.
First case is probably the best, honestly.
In the game.
That's probably, yeah. That. Honestly, that's the best first trial of any game.
I do not.
Even better than Trials and Tribulations.
I do not agree with that. I see why you say that, but I do not agree with that. Mostly, is it weird as it sounds?
You just don't like what Phoenix does.
Well, I mean, I don't like that. That ruins it for me. But it's also a gameplay thing, and Khan can actually back me up on this.
Yeah, I think you said, Joseph, that you really disliked what Phoenix did, but the case itself you were fine with until we replayed it, and you were like, okay, the case has a lot of problems too.
How so?
It's more of like a gameplay pacing thing where it's in my opinion, it's an Apollo Justice problem in general, but in first case is an example of this where it doesn't feel like you're figuring shit out and coming to the conclusion. It just feels like it's a story playing out that you're just observing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I still like it though. Because, I mean, that's basically the thing. Apollo Justice was used by Phoenix.
Yeah, but
he wasn't
it's not
trying to, like, be...
gameplay experience for me, though.
That's fair.
If I'm not playing as Apollo figuring shit out.
That's fair.
Which is why we talk about these in detail when we talk about Apollo Justice.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know Ruben's not back yet, but honestly, I would be fine ending it here.
Yeah, I agree. I have to go eat.
I should head out as well, anyway. So
yeah,
I'm gonna end it here and call it.
We'll talk after dinner though, Joseph. So.
Oh, we definitely will. With that said, toodaloo, guys.